if engineering the perfect body is your main goal, the innovation personal training, where you need to go. Keyword personal, meaning me and you, one-on-one, not one in a group. Everything Jay do is customized just for you. Cause the last I checked, everybody ain't the same. So how you run train, everybody as the same, man. He come from the railroad, working on the track. So trust me when you train, we gon' keep you on track. Few innovation protein drinks instead of snacks, and the money ain't a thing. First assessment is free. Tell them what you want and what you trying to achieve, and check your BSRMs and show you what you need. Body structure, range of motion. Time to put in work. Train with ambition if you try and see your vision. 14, 20 man a row. Now go visit.
Sexual abuse of a child exploits and degrades them. It can cause serious damage to social, emotional, and cognitive development of a child. Sexual abuse affects 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 6 boys before the age 18. Hi, my name is Zanetta Berryman Cooper, founder of Speak Out Now. Speak Out's goal is to spread awareness of child sexual abuse and rape. We provide resources for victims, their families, and help with the overall healing process. For more information, please like and visit our Facebook page, Speak Out 203, or call 203-936-9396.
I think I'm up and running, folks. I think I'm up and running. We had to get the liquor together.
Really?
Let me test the bombs out and make sure we good. Our people is here. Well, I don't want to say our people. Who needs to be here is here.
Yeah.
Say it like the church people said. You know what I'm saying? So let me get Kwani. Y'all know Kwani McNeil. You know, Miss. Pull the mic out your face, Kwani. You want them to see you. You got a lot of guys that's checking for you. No, put it. Yeah. You got a lot of guys checking for you.
Stop it.
You know.
Stop it.
Do we hold on, let me find, give me a second. Let me find, I should be more prepared. I'm not prepared. So boom, there we go. The LGBTQA discussion. Kwani, you want to introduce our distinguished guest tonight?
No, because I think I'm going to murder his last name because I wasn't paying attention in
school.
I wasn't paying attention in class. So, but we're going to introduce him. Yes, I'm going to try.
Okay.
I'm going to introduce our guest. We have our guest tonight who's going to be kind of chiming in on our discussion. Mr. David Creaturo.
David Creaturo. Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Good evening.
He said he's never done this before, so
no,
you know.
Like how many people watching this? Oh, all right.
Yeah, we definitely gonna get into it. We're gonna get into the discussion.
Okay.
So what's going on with you, Rob? How has your week been thus far? Happy hump day to you all.
I'm good. I'm simple. Everything is everything.
So
how about you?
It's been a rough one. A Mercury retrograde is like
I don't. Hold on, let me
it's
hit
like
you.
kicking my
Let
butt.
me hit you up. Let me hit your ass off the back because I have no idea what the fuck that means.
No, I'm saying it's real. It's real.
It's real?
Listen, I normally doesn't get me. Normally I'm safe. Like, shoo, she slides in. She's safe. Not this time. This time is like gut punching me. Got me all over the place. I'm sorry. I apologize to anyone that I offend until roughly the first week of March.
Are you having like more interpersonal communication issues, or is it more like technological, or both?
Both.
Damn, that's big talk.
Yeah.
Both.
That's big talk.
It's absolutely both. It's absolutely both. And
wait, you guys work together?
We do not.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But I'm just saying, there's issues all over the place. I didn't know. My friend told me, and I didn't want to listen because every time I think about Mercury retrograde, that's when it's like self-fulfilling prophecy. That's when it starts to kick in. And I'm
that's
like,
when you're not supposed to think about it to that
and
extent.
it's early on, and
it's catching me.
It's not over till what, March something?
I think it's like
what's it called?
6th, 7th.
Mercury retrograde. A lot of people say Mercury Gatorade. That's not. It's not what it is.
It's for jokes because people always use
Right.
it as an excuse. I get it, but it's really kicking my ass.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So we definitely got some shit to talk about tonight. We got some, and we again we thank David for coming through. You know,
Thank you for having
people.
me.
It's not easy coming up here. The back out is real on this
I don't know.
on this platform.
I made an effort. I've been running around all
So
day,
we were
and I made an
supposed to-
effort to get over here. Yeah.
We really appreciate you being, the loyal guy that you are,
Thank you.
and a stand-up professional. That's so far. It's so hard to come across someone who actually sticks to a plan and is professional, even if you're not going to give someone a heads up, not at the last minute, or people call out the hour before work starts. It's
I was
terrible.
asking a lot of questions, and sometimes that makes people nervous. But now I'm here.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you. So our other guest that we were hoping to have tonight backed out on us at the last minute, so I'm a little bitter. I'm raw. I'm rawly bitter.
Right, that's not nice. It's Wednesday night. Like, what else are you really doing? Come on.
Yeah. So, but nevertheless, the show goes on, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So
So, David, how's your week been? We haven't got to you.
It's been a little rough. It's only Wednesday, and it feels like it should be like Sunday already. Actually, yeah.
Oh, please let it be
It's
like
tough.
Friday.
Today
night.
is tough. Today was tough.
Yeah, today was tough. Today was tough.
Monday and Tuesday were all right, but
today.
Yesterday was
getting there.
worse. Today was tough. Yesterday for me was worse. I was just
really, yesterday was chill for me. We had our Black History luncheon at work, so that was nice. I helped organize it with my coworker.
Okay, nice.
It was good.
Okay.
See, that was a potluck?
Yeah,
People brought in their own food?
they did.
You don't know what's happening, right?
Honestly, everything came out pretty good.
You ate it all?
See, I brought the sweet tea. I was
Okay.
told that I wasn't allowed to make it. I was like, why? I could hook it up. Come
Oh,
on,
the
I'll
blacks.
hook it up.
The blacks don't want you doing nothing, huh?
I went to Popeyes.
Oh, you did? You went to
Went through
Popeyes
the
and got it?
drive-thru, got like those gallon bags or whatever. Like,
Yeah, you can't. David, I want you to know. I know you. David, the blacks are not easy to please, man. They can be a bit much.
I was like, I could cook. They were like, Dave, you could get the beverage. And they asked me to bring Kool-Aid. I felt uncomfortable. I didn't feel comfortable doing that. I'm sorry. I was like,
Let me hit Dave's ass right quick.
oh my God.
Oh, they didn't want you to cook.
No, I could though, but whatever, it's straight.
Dave, what can you cook? What black dish are you a professional at, Dave? What can you cook?
Honestly, I have. Okay, one of my exes. Well, actually, all my exes were black. Let me just say.
Oh, so all your exes were black? Okay,
Yes.
okay. Dave is with us.
Exactly.
Dave is with us. God damn it.
So I cooked. We had a big family gathering. I want to say, was it Thanksgiving or Easter? It was Easter, and I was outside. It was on the grill, but there was a big bucket of grease that I was frying chicken. I fried chicken for his whole family.
So you can fry
And
some
it was fun,
chicken?
Yeah, I haven't done it in a while.
That's why you're
but
getting them.
It's not
That's
that
why
hard.
you're getting
It's not.
No, it really
Dave, are you
not.
knocking the black cats off for the chicken?
The chicken.
God
Nah,
damn, Dave. You get
That's
Dave.
about it. But when it comes to like potato salad, I was like, I had to bring some to a function a few years ago, and I had my ex make it, and then I lied and said I made it. And there happened to be a black woman at this function, and she took a bite of it, and she was like, "You made this, David?"
That's right, Dave.
Yeah. I'm not gonna try that.
Why you lie to my auntie, David? Don't be lying. Don't be lying.
So,
Dave, that's what's up, man.
yeah.
So, I don't know how to, Kwani, you would know how to. You're a female, so I think because you don't want to be like. How do you go into this conversation safely without offending someone? Like, because people might call in.
You can't overanalyze these situations. You're talking about the before I get his name wrong, like you told me before, Dwayne Wade.
Dwayne Wade
and his son. The situation of him coming out as transgender at 12 years old.
Right.
And what do we think about that?
Right.
Yeah, that's how you go into it. See how that easy that was? It's just
okay. You just fall into it now.
Fall into it.
Should it be discussed? Like, David, if you, I don't even know how to ask the question. Like, do you think that's at 12 years old?
I would have to say, honestly, yes. Yeah. It might just be a feeling that this individual has. I don't know whether to say he or she right now, but it might be a feeling that this individual has. They might have always had a feeling. When he was young, maybe he wanted to play with female toys instead of male toys. I don't know. I can't speculate. I haven't looked too much into the situation, but I think that people know. I think that children know. Honestly, from the jump, they might not exactly know or be able to know how to identify it, but I think that children know that they're gay. They know, they know that they're attracted to either males or females for a specific reason. Yeah.
I would definitely have to agree with that. I mean, we think on a human level, a very logical level, from the time we're very young, and that, that verdict is still out on how young, but very young, first, second grade, I'm going to go with. You really kind of know, like, it's a boy, you get giddy, and the boy in turn, he wants to fight you because he doesn't know how to express his feelings. It's a little different, they tease you or whatever. So I think we all kind of know, what we're attracted to at that age, versus if it was a girl you got a crush on, you might do the same exact thing, Yeah. So it depends.
Yeah, I mean, some children, some boys are more feminine, some girls are more masculine. They have the term tomboy, that
true.
manifests from an early age, and it just depends. I mean, whether the tomboy turns out to be
gay or not.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I was a tomboy to my core, and I still have very tomboy-like traits.
It's not always the case.
No, but it's not gay here.
Right.
Now, Dave, did you know at some point? When did you feel like you knew?
I want to say like sometime in elementary school, honestly. Yeah, when I started, it wasn't so much, of course, you're in elementary school. It's not so much sexual feelings, but it's kind of, how do I explain it? It's kind of like a feeling of affection towards other males. It's kind of like, you get kind of, not possessive, but kind of jealous. I don't know how to explain it. You see your friend talking
to somebody you like.
Friend. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I don't. Yeah, it's just kind of a feeling.
But for him to, because he not only said I'm attracted. Well, he didn't even really say that. See, that's the takeaway from that. Because he never said I'm attracted to, Well, he did. He said, this is what he said per se.
Right.
He said, I am a transgender who identifies as a girl.
Right.
And I am a straight transgender because he identifies as a girl and he likes men, that he's a straight transgender. And that's the part that confuses the hell out of me.
It is confusing. It really is. Now, I just want to clarify that we are talking about gender identity. We're not talking about sexuality. I'm looking at some of the comments. But then again, this is a male that identifies as a female. This is a male that is attracted to males. So sexuality is involved.
Okay, so now, yes, I'm going to need you to relax a little bit, babes. I'm going to need you to relax. So now, as far as being 12 years old and making a decision, like Boosie was saying, because that was never the conversation. The conversation was never about him going through reassignment. It never was a conversation about him going through reassignment at all. So that was never a conversation yet, even though that may be the route he takes, and I get it. And then the same question, Born, that you asked is, how at 12 years old, how do you really even know? Because if we think about it, somebody did a relation the other day on Facebook. So we said a 12-year-old can make decisions for themselves, but then we say R. Kelly's, victims couldn't make a decision for themselves. How does that make sense? Because that is true. Your whole front court was what they call the front part of your cortex. Brain, because I don't know the name right in this moment.
Right.
Cortex, I think it's called. But that front part of your brain isn't fully developed until you're well past 18. It was actually 16 actually. So once you're well past that, so how do we differentiate between that? You know what I mean? It's hard.
It is hard. And I do have to say, I'm looking at some of the comments also. There's a whole nature versus nurture debate going on here.
Yes, always.
And I really have to say that I believe that a lot of these feelings are biological. I believe that it is chemicals in your brain. There's studies that show that gay males have a larger hypothalamus. That's part of the brain that derives pleasure, sexual pleasure, all of that type of stuff. I think that, honestly, I'm one of those people. I'm sorry if people disagree, but I think that you're born not like you are an infant, like I like dick or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? not like you come out the womb like wanting to.
That would be wild.
Like,
that's a
but not like you're a kid like attracted to other kids. Like, but you know what I mean. But I think it's something that might be predetermined or predestined. I think that it is genetic. I think
sometimes.
Yeah.
So you're not. So you're not. Because people will say quickly. I don't know if they know about it. But they'll say you're not born gay. Is that? Can you be born gay?
Yes.
I think so. I think it runs in families. Yes.
I think it's genetics, just like many things. You be born, with mentally challenged or have a chromosome off versus the other. Can you be born, as they call them, they call them transvestites, right? When they have the both. That's not
a hermaphrodite. When
hermaphrodite. Thank you for the correction
of the body parts. Yeah.
Yes. So those are things you're born with. It's just genetic what happens.
It's like you can't control.
I have a friend, and I knew from early on her child was going to be gay. Like he was like 2-3.
Honestly, people might have thought that about me.
He grew up to be gay, though. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So that's why before I would have been saying, oh, maybe it's you had in black community especially, like, you coddle him too much. Stop coddling him. He don't need to be hanging around all them girls. He got to get, you know what I'm saying? They try to man you up real quick.
It doesn't matter what you do. I mean, there's studies that show, it is nature. Instead of nature wins the battle, I really have to say. And people will say, oh, it's because somebody was molested. It's because somebody was abused. No.
Yeah, a lot of people do say that.
Yeah, they do.
For molestation.
What do you think comes out of that, though? Because I do think some sexual repressions come out of trauma.
Of course, they do. Sexual repression, either nobody wants to be involved with sex.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to, or it's the other way around, that somebody is hypersexual and they that's all they think about, and that's very unhealthy sexual behavior. They have a very unhealthy relationship with themselves and with their sexual life. But there are studies that show that, or at least from what I've read, that if adults, I don't know, I haven't read too much about it, but if adults can tell that a child may be on his way to being gay, or that they're more likely to go through some kind of trauma or abuse, whether it's emotional abuse, psychological abuse, sexual abuse.
So do you think that somebody wrote in the comments? So you're saying God makes mistakes? Do you think that's?
Well, I mean that depends. I guess it's subjective. I don't think it's a mistake.
Exactly.
Makes mistake like you was born
right
this and you want to be
I think
something
that,
different.
honestly,
I don't. Yeah, that's harsh. That's not even embrace that.
I think that God makes plenty of mistakes. I don't think that
gay is one of them. Let's be honest. Let's be clear.
You said gay is one of them.
I don't think gay is one of them.
I don't think gay is one of them either.
Absolutely not. God makes mistakes. What does that mean?
What he's saying is like God made you to love women, and then you switched up and said, you want to love.
But if you go back in time and you see how sexual even ancient time people were, and they had so much fluidity between species, and so I get it. You say that, but see, even though I'm not part of the LGBTQ community. And it's more letters now, yes?
Oh, I can't even keep track.
That's what I'm saying.
LGBTQA.
Regular people can't keep
up. That's the furthest I've gotten. What's right on the screen.
My daughter told me this LGBTQA.
Yeah.
Asexual. I don't know what asexual means. I think she said it means that you're not sure.
Paul had mentioned something about a P. We're going to talk about that in a little while, but not yet.
A P? I don't know what the P.
We're going to talk about
There's
that.
There's an I also, right?
It's an I?
I think so.
Intersexual?
LGBTQIA.
Intersexual.
I don't know what I don't know what that means.
It must be intersexual.
Sorry. I can Google it real quick. Intersexual. I don't know.
Intersexual. If you are,
can we grab a call right quick?
Yeah, if you are hermaphrodite, you couldn't be intersexual.
Yo, it's the Raw Report. Talk to us. Hello?
That's the furthest.
Here we go.
You got to turn down your thing in the background so you don't get confused.
Please.
You're feeding back. Hello?
All right.
Hello?
Hello?
Count to 3 and click.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Don't try to click me off.
Oh, this is my boy.
Let me try that funny shit. Don't try to click me off. What's up?
What's good?
What's going on, Pay?
TS.
Yeah. Hey.
I got a couple of questions.
Okay.
Let's
go.
I got a couple of questions. Good morning. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Now, I want to ask you this question. Because I've talked a little bit about Wade, son. At what point did you realize that you was going to take a walk on the wild side? Like, at what point did you realize you was gay?
Now, it's difficult because, I want to say that I had these feelings. I felt affection towards other males, like, as early as elementary school, like 4th or 5th grade. I didn't know that it was gay, though. It's like when you're that young, you can't make that connection. Yes, a lot of people are saying that. I don't think I fully made the connection until I was in, like, sophomore year of high school, probably. And then maybe a year later is when I came out to some of my friends. Yeah.
Because I got a couple. Now, did you ever have some pussy?
No, I have not.
Oh, so you never had no pussy?
No.
You don't know what it feels like. No. Do you have any desire?
Now, let me go, Kwani. It's my time. No, my time to shine. My time to shine. Because you had an opportunity to ask these questions and you didn't. So now, I'm saying, I'm not, I'm not, I'm saying, like, on no gay bashing and shit. None of that, bro. Because, like, my daughter likes girls. My daughter's gay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe, personally, this is my opinion, I don't believe that nobody is. Everybody got a right.
What happened? Why you went out?
I don't believe it. I believe that it's like genetics, like a family. Because everybody family, you got, like, out of your whole family, like, when you go to a family.
What's going on with your phone?
His phone's going out.
It doesn't equal love. You know what I'm saying?
Would you say that again? Because your phone went out.
No, I'm saying, like, like they were saying, like, you're born that way or it's genetics, like it's in your genes and shit. I don't buy that, but I'm not debating it. I'm just saying I don't buy it. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. And
now getting back to Brother David. So now when you realized in high school when you was, you know what I'm saying, you felt like this is where you was at.
Yes.
Me, I could see. So you like the dark meat.
Did that's how it started off?
No, it wasn't
actually.
You
first switch it up. What's good? Talk to me.
It wasn't actually, no. I grew up in a predominantly white area, so my first experience was with a white man. But then ever since then, I don't have a preference really. I do like all different shades. I think there are attractive men in all different shades, but that's just how things have happened. So. Yeah.
Ping, you there? I think his phone is...
Me too. I think
he had issues with his phone.
Yeah, they're trying to force him onto the 5G.
They trying to force
him to... I like the dark.
Yeah, he said he liked it. He said he liked it. Like, what made you say, okay, I like this, I preference this more than a Caucasian man or a Spanish man or whatever?
You could still do Spanish.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
There's some of that going on.
Yeah.
There is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like official relationships, I'll say, has been black men. However, things that are in between have been Spanish, Asian. It's just
Asian.
Yeah.
We gotta talk about that.
Okay.
Now, have you ever been with someone that was closet and was like, listen, let's keep this on the low?
Yes.
And you have been with closet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about that. We got a lot to talk about tonight.
We got a lot to talk about.
But hold on, let's focus on the topic at hand.
Okay.
So we're asking all the people tonight. It's about Dwayne Wade and his son. I believe his name is now his name was Zaire.
I think it's Zaire or something like that.
Zai now.
Yeah.
And so with Zai and him coming out and saying, not that I'm just gay or I'm attracted to men, because he never really said that. He never said I'm attracted to boys. He said, I identify as a woman, as a girl, and I want to be referred as she. This is who I am and where I stand. And as I'm referred to as she, I want you to know that I'm straight. So I guess he said, and without saying, I'm attracted to men. Right? Kind of? What's going on, David?
I'm just trying to analyze this. Let me start from the beginning.
Dave, before you get into it, you got a nice fan club here. You got a nice...
I don't know. I saw some crazy stuff earlier, but now...
You got people saying, I'm proud of you. Let me grab this right quick and we'll shoot. It's the Raw Report. Talk to us real quick.
Yo, what's up, Rob? It's Ashanti.
Shanti, what's good, baby?
Nothing. So I just wanted to holler at y'all real quick because I got my own views on this topic.
Okay.
And I'm not saying that anybody else's views are wrong, and I'm not saying that mine is right. This is just how I feel.
Okay.
So I feel like with reading up on transgender and things of that nature, right? They say that it's like a psychological thing or whatever the case is. And if I'm wrong, please correct me and tell me that I'm wrong. But from what I've seen, it's like a psychological thing, right? And so my issue comes in with psychological issues, mental health, things of that nature. There needs to be treatment, right? We don't lie to a person as a form of treatment. We treat them based on the facts of what it is, right? I'm not taking away from anybody identifying with a certain sex or whatever the case is, but I do feel like your sex is determined by your genital area, and if you do not have the vagina or the penis, then how can we enforce that? Again, we can all identify with whatever we want to identify with. I can identify with being a bird. It doesn't make me a bird. I can identify with being a doctor, right? It doesn't make me a doctor. So that's where I feel my issue comes in with it, is like, if somebody has a psychological or a mental issue, it needs to be treated with treatment. And I don't think that a part of the treatment should be lying to the person for them to believe that there's something that they're not. Whatever you want to identify with, however you want to live your life, feel free to do that. However, I don't think that everything should be changed now just because of that. Just like a gay person, you want to be gay, be gay. I don't care. Everybody lives their life how they want to live it. But I just feel like this is, I don't know. And I also feel like it opens up the door for other stuff, right? So if this is something that, like, gay people or transgender people, if they're born with this feeling, right, if there's truth to that, then what happens when these pedophiles start coming out the woodworks talking about how they've been born like
that's a good
and
conversation,
they can't help it and they can't do anything about it, so I just feel like it's a very, very touchy thing, because it opens up the door to other BS, let me not say BS, because I don't want to say that this is BS, but I just feel like it opens the door for other things to now be normalized.
Agreed. That's a very strong point,
right.
Dave.
I think it's very difficult to analyze. I am not transgender. I cannot put myself in their shoes. It's something that I can't really answer for. I'm here answering for gay males. However, I do support transgender people. I don't understand what they're 100% what they're going through, but I do support them. I advocate for their safety and acceptance and tolerance, of course, and all that type of stuff.
Have you ever wanted to be a woman, David?
No.
Fair enough.
But then I have another question, though, when it comes to, like, the acceptance, like you said, right? Again, me personally, I just feel like because you want to live and I'm not saying you, sir, I'm just saying in general. Because you choose to live your life the way that you choose to live it, that does not mean that I have to now accept it, right? No. I can respect you and I can treat you as an individual and have respect for you, and I don't have to accept it. Absolutely. So that's another one of my issues, is live your life, create your own lane, break those barriers, but you should not be forcing it down people's throats. Like that, I just feel like that should be way too much, instead of being like, hey, we need to be accepted. No, create your own fucking lane, break that barrier, and be respected. We say you go around the people that you're celebrated, right? Ooh. We're not gonna sit here and keep trying to get people that don't like us to accept us. Ooh, no, you go where you're loved. You go where you're accepted.
Where you're celebrated, not where you're tolerated.
Exactly. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So that's just my take on it. And again, I'm not I have no issues with how anybody lives their life. Right. I just feel like some questions do kind of arise, and it's like, well, wait a minute now, I don't know about that. But to each his own. Blessings to everybody. I want everybody to live in their truth, live their life. But again, you can't expect everybody to accept your truth.
Fair enough. The great points. Thank you for calling in tonight, Ashanti.
Thank you.
Not a problem. Thanks, y'all.
All right, Ashanti.
I want to take this for a second. She made some very strong points.
She did, didn't she?
She did. And some strong points that I really kind of feel like this is the moment to unpack them a bit.
I couldn't argue with a lot of
the points.
What she was saying, right?
Not at all. So she came in with the sexual identity versus sexual orientation. So how you, not even sexual identity as a whole, right? That's so convoluted. Even when we talk about like Rachel Dolezal, right? Dolezal, whatever her name is. No matter what you want to identify, Caitlyn Jenner. We got a lot of people just identify as things. Whatever you choose to identify with, I get how that can be confusing. Not even I get how that can be. That is confusing.
And I think it is confusing for people. It gets confusing, even for me as being part of this LGBT community. It's like, okay, it's correct. You know, I understand people's points where they say, where do you draw the line? Honestly, I don't believe in a transracial situation. This Rachel Dolezal thing. I don't really understand.
Clown tomorrow.
You know, you could be white, Asian, Spanish, and you could still support the black community. You know, like I don't.
It was just whack. That was just a left
she could have
angle.
Just been herself.
That you don't think somebody would come up with at all. So that part of it, and I get it. We shouldn't have to be accepting of anything and everything.
Right. I accept transgender people just because it must be a struggle for them. I know it's a struggle for them. I know some of them. You know, I've watched the show Pose. You know, that really sheds a lot of light on it.
That was a really good show.
Right. I'm waiting for the second season to come on Netflix. Actually, we're on Amazon now, so maybe I can watch it.
You watched that, y'all? Pose.
What's it called?
Pose on Netflix. POSE.
Okay.
On Netflix. Great show.
It's a good show. I think and I think it's realistic. Just not. In a sense that I know it focuses more on like the late 80s, early 90s, but
that was a great time though.
I
wish I grew up. I didn't really grow up.
Now, well, see, the thing is about I remember the 80s going to high school. The gay cats, they got harassed severely.
A lot. Now it's more like it's accepted, and I think that's where that line, and that's where we get in this controversy. But I want to continue to unpack what Ashanti said, because she hit home with a lot of good points. So she talked about that sexual identity versus sexual orientation that we just touched on. Okay. What do you feel about that, Rob Davis?
Sexual identity
versus sexual orientation.
I don't know, because
who I am versus who I'm aroused by, who I lust after.
Well, it's hard to be who you want to be because of the ridicule you'll get. If you can't go in there and just come out to your friends and say that I'm gay. It'll go wrong. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people, there's more closet cats because they know they can't come out and be secure with coming out saying they're gay.
So why don't openly gay people get more respect?
Openly gay?
Yes.
From what I hear is a lot of black people would say Obama gave more love to the gay movement than he did to the black movement.
Absolutely. Hands down. Absolutely.
You believe that?
Absolutely. 100%.
So, and a lot of old school people, you can't change them. I've talked to ministers and I asked them, would you marry two openly gay people? And they was like, no.
No, but why? I'm just saying, you guys just said, especially in our black community, David probably can agree with this, we're a lot more closeted, a lot more brothers on the down low. Even though I witnessed one time my son in football, and one of the parents who was married for years, all through Mighty Mites, all the way up till he got to like late in football, midgets, right?
Right.
Like he was with a woman, and then he got divorced, and then he married a man. So he was white. He wasn't, he wasn't black at all. So he was kind of on the down low.
I'm talking about the black culture.
Yes, I get him to say
black cats ain't coming out, and they might be closet.
But why?
Because of the ridicule they're receiving.
But then why doesn't the LGBTQA community get more respect? If you're saying black men are more cowardly, because that's what you're saying.
Right.
That's what you're saying. You're saying I'm scared to come out because of the ridicule I'm going to get by society. That's what you're saying.
By a certain society.
In essence, that's what you're saying, though.
By a certain society.
Fair enough.
I don't think cowardly is the word.
Well, cowardly's not the word. It's just
what's the word? They're scared?
Afraid.
Scared and cowardly.
Maybe stigmatized. Maybe stigmatized, or they feel like they will be stigmatized once they come out.
So they don't want to fit in the box. If it was a check,
you got a lot of cats in the closet that has a whole family.
If it was a check associated with that box, like many people don't want to get in the mental health box.
Right.
No.
They're like, but did they say, other people say, yeah, I'm going to get that check. So what if it was a check attached to it? Would they be more accepting of getting into that box, peripheral box?
It's funny how it is. You got to have...
it's
touchy.
Show me the money.
It's a certain kind of person that will say... that will come out of the closet or be openly gay. Like, you can't have no hood dude who's walking around with Timbs on and a certain look and image come out and be gay. That shit.
But there are.
There are.
There are, but a lot of them are closet.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Well,
Like, would you? The ones you know, would you know by looking at them that they're openly gay?
No.
That's just they're hiding it.
You wouldn't know by day by him walking down the street unless he started talking to you.
Unless I started opening my mouth, right?
You wouldn't
know. Other than that,
yeah.
You know, there's one at the gym that's like that. But I know because I've seen him on those little.
Is he closet?
I don't, in his life, in his
it's
daily life, I don't know.
Especially New Haven guys, but Connecticut as a whole, we have a lot of closeted men that I've been friends with the LGBT community for a long while. And I have guy friends who, if we step out together, they'll let me know. And some of these people I grew up with, I didn't know.
It's easy to let you know.
Well, okay, well, I'm with it.
You're
so let me know.
Tell them to let one of their boys they grew up with. Let them know. That shit is not easy to do that.
But they let me know. No, they let me know that this guy is who they're sleeping with, is what I'm saying.
But that's easy to tell you. You're a female.
But no, I'm saying those guys.
Dave, you agree?
Anybody.
I do agree.
They haven't told anybody. The guys they're out in or telling me, they're not really out in because they're just telling me, and I'm not telling anyone. But they're telling me that, oh, that's my dude, or I slept with him. But meanwhile, I grew up with him.
Is that dude on the down low? The one that they're telling you about? Yeah. Oh, that's not right.
But that's my dude. He's telling me. He's right for him to tell me.
He shouldn't be outing somebody like that.
He's not outing him. He's just telling me.
That is outing because you're telling us right now.
I'm never telling.
Well, we don't know who she's talking about. But I'm just saying.
Let me hit that dude, Joe.
I'm never telling anyone.
Tell dude he's out.
I don't tell the secret.
But I feel like I don't think it's anyone else's business to out anyone. I mean, if they do that, then they do that, whatever. But whether somebody's on the down low or not, some people, it's sometimes it's just nobody's business.
But it's not fair to us black women, especially for our black men to be sleeping with men because a lot of times they do sleep with you guys. Well, not you guys.
Damn,
but
listen
they
to
do.
her.
They do.
Dave, you hear that shit?
I do.
That judgmental bullshit she gets done.
No, it's not judgmental. I'm listening.
Please do. They sleep with other men raw. And then they come back to a black woman and turn, even if they sleep with another woman, it's the same difference, but you're sleeping with a man.
So I'll admit, okay, being DL is one thing, being on the down low is one thing, but then being cautious and being careful and being honest and being communicative with your partner, that's a whole other thing.
Do you think he should tell a woman if he's sleeping with a man?
In an ideal world, yes. But, I mean, obviously it's going to affect the relationship. Yeah. Obviously they're going to break up. I would think.
We should just be open at first. Say, I'm bisexual. I'm sexually fluid.
And maybe if they want, if the woman wants to stay, then that's fine. That's their business. If they don't want to stay, that's fine. To each their own. But
I know, but they should tell us. A lot of times I hear about marriages. They get caught.
Do you know how many guys are married with children?
Yeah, I
that
do
are
know.
in a relationship. Yeah, that's crazy.
I do know.
So how can you expect them to go home and tell their wife that they're gay?
But not to be okay. So in the black culture, we like, and especially not even black culture. It's a woman thing. So, but white women are a little bit more accepting. Spanish women are accepting as well, but black women are not. And so, what a man is saying, and now they are becoming to be more accepting. Black women, quite honestly, younger generation anyway. When a man is saying, "I'm sexually fluid," it gives that woman an opportunity to say if that's her cup of tea or not. But a lot of black women are not going to be like, "That's my cup of tea," because they can't see past that. Versus a woman sleeping with a woman, they're like, "Oh, she could be bisexual," but a man can't. That's the part I don't relate to and I can't get behind.
I feel like a lot of women are bisexual just as a trend, as a way to attract somebody, like that song "My Girl Got a Girlfriend" or whatever. I mean, it was even
and Katy Perry's "I Kissed a Girl."
It's like supposed to be something cute or whatever.
But if women can be bisexual, I do. I'm sorry. I know most, like 85% of people don't agree that men can be bisexual too, but I do. I don't think that if a man sleeps with another man that he's just gay. I just think
you said a man could be bisexual.
Yes, but our culture feels like they can't. You sleep with a man, you're gay. Just off rip.
Right.
But I think if we allow that, at least they would be more willing to come out and say, "Hey, I do like both genders." It's this new show on Netflix. Did you check that out? It's called Blind Date, I think it's called.
No.
It's called Blind Date, but it's a dope show, actually. The finale comes on tomorrow. So it talks about just you meet somebody, but you just go through a wall. So it's like me talking to you on the side of the wall for like months, and you fall in love with this person. But at the end of it, you're supposed to get married. And so in one of the couples, the guy comes up, and at the end of it, when they finally meet each other, he said, "I got to tell you a secret. I didn't know how to tell you this before. But this is a black guy and a black girl. And he said, you know, I like both. I date both. I date both men and women. And she couldn't get past that, even though she had fell in love with his soul for those 3 months. She couldn't get past that, and she couldn't go through with it. And I get it in some regard as a woman. But then I don't. I felt hurt too. I felt like so sad. I was like, oh,
how many months
sappy.
did you say?
They were like,
it was like 3 months. How many months?
It was a little while. Anybody?
Is this real? This is like a reality.
Yeah, it's a reality show. Anybody who saw that show on Netflix, let me know.
Yeah,
I don't know how long it was.
Like, they saw it.
Yeah, I think it was like 2 months. I don't know. It was a while. So maybe a month. I don't know.
Right.
But they fell in love with each other in that amount of time from these connections they built based on conversations. Right.
I can't judge the woman.
Now, Dave, have you ever been in a situation where did you ever put pressure on a guy to go tell?
No.
You let him stay closet?
Yes.
Okay.
Ashanti corrected me. It's called Love Is Blind on Netflix. Great
Love
show.
Is Blind. Let me
the finale
that
comes
down.
on tomorrow night.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the finale.
I'm always needing new stuff to watch. Okay.
So you've never gotten, because typically what gay guys, a lot of guys are scared also because gay guys are known for putting you out there once they get upset with you.
I don't do that.
Yes, you've seen it though. You've seen it though.
I'm ride or die. Keep it quiet. Stop. You don't want to mess it up because if you want some in the future, you ain't gonna mess it up.
So me up here, I can't even laugh at shit like that. Let me hit my because if I laugh, I'll get an you gay as fuck. She can laugh. I can't laugh at that. You say you might want some, and I go, I laugh. Now everybody, this motherfucker, I knew he was gay. I know he was
They might say that. I don't know.
Listen.
Now, was that a black thing? Black gay dudes ousting a person once they're upset with them?
No, I think it's universal. That's something
universal.
that's universal.
Yeah. Okay,
in a
okay.
sense, I don't feel a need to out people because there was a time when I was not out, believe it or not, despite certain things, and I didn't want people to out me, so I know how it feels. So I would never do that. I think that's very petty.
It might be, you're in love, you're hurt, you hurt your feelings,
even in situations like that. No.
So how did it make you feel when you weren't out and were you afraid for someone else to out you?
Yes, and it did happen.
Yes. And what were you afraid of?
Rejection, isolation.
From your friends and family?
Yeah, from friends. Family was separate. I mean, this was all at school. So it started at school. The first people I knew were my friends at school. And I was afraid of being bullied, picked on. However, I was not. Where I grew up, I was tolerated. It was fine. I never had any issues in high school. When I got to college, it was a whole other story. It was a little scary up there. I went to UConn and stores.
Yeah, my daughter went to UConn.
Yeah.
But she never... It's the culture now. Like, I asked my daughter who goes to high school. She introduced me to her gay friend, and I was like, "Did he get bullied?" And she was like, "Oh no." She said it like I was saying like, "Oh, they don't play that shit here. They don't."
Yeah. It's more accepted with women.
She goes to co-op.
Okay.
It's more accepted with women. Let me tell you something. So, my aunt is gay, and she's been gay since I was born. She's always been gay, very openly gay, androgynous gay. She's been married and everything. So I never looked at it differently because I didn't really understand it in that way. I didn't see anything besides the companionship between the two people. I didn't look at it that way. I knew something was different, but I never really looked at it as this is not right. I just looked at that's who she was with. You know what I mean? So I didn't really even think about it like that. Even as this whole transgender thing is being pushed, transgenders have been living amongst us since I can remember. I remember going to Loman's with my grandma back in the day. In Loman's, everybody knew Loman's had an open dressing room.
I want to say they were in existence even hundreds of years ago. Like Shakespeare, the men used to wear the wigs and the high heels and all that stuff. So why do you think they're pushing it on us now? You think who's pushing it?
Society.
I don't know if they're pushing it necessarily. I don't feel like they're pushing it. I feel like maybe they're kind of helping tell their story in a sense. Okay. That they want to be recognized.
Okay.
Whether somebody agrees with it or not, again, like I support that they are a part of our society, whether we like it or not. And, whether people want to learn about them or not, I mean, they don't have to watch this stuff. They don't have to watch Pose. They don't have to. They don't have to partake in any of that. But if they want to put their story out there and people are interested, I don't see anything wrong with that.
So you think people are just more willing to be very transparent and open nowadays than they were before?
So. I think it's maybe safer. Transgender, this is difficult. I mean, transgendered is, out of the whole LGBTQA, asexual. Is that asexual?
Asexual.
I don't know what the A stood for.
I think
sometimes I'm
it
asexual.
means like you don't know
Really?
what.
I think sometimes.
Wait, you're
watching this,
sometimes,
but let me not make a comment about that.
Let me hit Dave. Okay.
Oh, no.
Let me fucking hit Dave ass.
How many buzzes do I get until I get kicked off?
Nah, you good. You good.
I think transgendered is the hardest out of all of these.
Yeah, it gotta be.
It gotta be, for sure.
It's the
least
least
I feel like
accepted.
being a hermaphrodite.
Hermaphrodite is different. If you want to think about like Sierra or whatever. I don't know if that's even true.
That's not true. That's
Is
my
it true?
girl. Don't be talking about my girl.
I don't know. I like Sierra. I'm sorry, just to put that out there.
I have no clue what the fuck you're talking about right now.
Skip
Sierra,
that.
they had the rumors back in like the early.
We're not entertaining. No, that's my girl.
We're not gonna
Don't
talk about that.
about be nice.
All right, we can move on. So hermaphrodite, that's biological. I mean, people of course are still gonna judge a hermaphrodite. They might. I don't think they should because they were born with different body parts.
Yeah,
that's
too.
different.
They got the
Two
best.
different
They
body
like
parts.
winning.
It's not, maybe
They
it's
kind
fun
of
for them.
winning.
I don't-
Exactly.
yeah,
They got like everything. Like,
Right. So I don't even think that's part of sexual orientation. Hermaphrodites. That's
Now,
like,
is the gay community powerful? They run shit right now, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Can I say you guys are running shit?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. It's different.
That's running shit. When you don't want to talk about it. Yeah. We running shit.
Stay humble. Move
Yeah,
on.
we running shit. Move on, punk.
I think the moment that I realized that I'm humble. I don't know that we were running shit. Whatever. Might have been like 2018. I think like Pride was like
You knew you was running shit. You good?
it was
You
like
good?
a worldwide
You good,
celebration. Oh,
You need a
for now,
refill.
yeah.
Can
Okay,
I get
just-
a refill?
I'll let you know. Well,
Yeah, you can just keep it over here just in case
right.
you need
Fair enough.
you need to tighten up
Can I
a
get a
little bit.
refill? All right.
So
It's a good song.
somebody just said, "Yo, Rob looks so lost." I'm not lost. I'm not lost. But I got to be careful because I know how those friends of mine how they play. Oh, motherfucker! I knew you was a faggot.
Oh,
like one time, me and
God.
my homeboys was in a group text inboxing jokes, and I meant to hit the laughing emoji, but I hit the hearts, and it was like, "Oh, motherfucker! I knew you was gay, motherfucker, all this time."
But let's talk about that.
I
Let's
knew
talk
it since
about
high
that.
school.
Oh my God,
Like, it's a fucking mistake, asshole.
Dave, how do you feel about guys who are so homophobic that they can't have a conversation or even say a paragraph without doing pause? No homo.
Pause
it's
is a
funny.
big
Oh,
pause.
pause is so much.
Yo,
I just think it's funny.
what am I was watching a video. The dude was like, "Yo,
So
I was
much.
getting real hot around them dudes." Pause.
Pause.
Like, fuck, yo.
It's confusing because it's like, let me think. Like, are they really trying to? We can
They're
look at
trying
it
to
from,
keep a clean slate.
Yeah, they are, and that's I
It's like
understand.
extra. That means they got
Right,
they
right.
suspect to me.
Sometimes
They
it's
doing too
those
much.
guys.
That's suspect?
Yes,
Let me
to
just say, sometimes it's those guys that are like the friendliest and the most accepting to the gay community. I don't think they mean hate by that stuff, but it's like they don't want to be seen as that. They want to protect their masculinity.
to that extent.
Now,
though?
a gay guy told me that the guys that are most homophobic are the gayest.
Yes.
Could that be true?
I agree with that.
It
Like,
could
like,
be.
get out of
It could
here.
be.
Think
Like,
about
they're
it.
afraid.
They are the gayest.
They're afraid. They're afraid of themselves.
Yeah,
They're
that
insecure.
part.
That's part
Oh,
of it.
so it's
Right.
Afraid
true.
of themselves.
They're afraid
Ooh, I
of the
say
feelings
that
that
all
they
the
have. Like
time.
I haven't really been in a situation like that where I've experienced.
I have.
Have you been?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've never been in
Oh,
a
I
situation where
have.
somebody just went off the top and just
I
started
so
being
have.
disrespectful?
Yes.
Let me think. No,
Ugh.
I don't
Oh,
think
I
so.
so
I'm really
have.
thinking. Well, no, you know what? Something happened at the this is the closest I could say. I mean, honestly, I've been pretty good. I hate I'm a friendly person. I'm a nice person. I think most people can relate to me. And that's why I think I haven't really had an issue. But I was at the Walmart here in I don't know if we're supposed to say where we at in this town.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, you can
And,
say, well, yeah, you're fine. You're fine.
I was leaving with my ex, and I was talking to him. We were minding our own business, and the guy pushing the shopping carts was like, "Yo, that dude sound feminine as fuck." And I turned around and I was like, "Is he talking to me?" And then he was like, "Oh, I wasn't talking about y'all." I'm like, "Are we the only people here?" I think that might have been the only time.
So could he have been
Homophobic.
could he have been closet gay?
He might have been. You know what? I called the Walmart. I hate to say, yeah. Can I speak to your manager? Or hold on, let me do it better than. Can I speak to your manager? Yeah.
Oh, you put your gay shit on?
No, like but what's that? The joke they have now with the manager haircut, the short haircut. Can I speak to your manager?
Oh, okay,
Which one is that? I missed that
the white
one.
lady with the short haircut. I don't know. Anyway.
I don't know. I missed that one.
So anyway, some people maybe that are watching will understand.
They probably do.
But I don't know. I called just to let them know. I was like, I don't think that's right that he's making those comments. Like, let him focus on his job. Like,
he was working there?
Yeah, he was pushing the shopping carts. He was working outside.
Okay.
And
that's a different. Yeah, that's a.
The guy that I was speaking to seemed to I think he was gay. I can't make assumptions, but he sounded like he wasn't. He was like, "Oh yeah, I've been a victim."
So there is a way to sound like you're gay. Tell me how that goes.
I don't want to say.
You hear my voice and you hear Dave's voice.
It's a stereotype.
Stop it.
It is a stereotype.
Well, Rob, sometimes you sound a little gay too, so I need to understand what that means.
Oh, come on.
let her have her a moment. Let me
pour some more vodka. Oh, let me. I don't know who watching this.
Yo, do your thing. You're fine. We turn up. Pour some more spirits. goddammit. Pour your spirits. Yes. So I've been told by many people that the most homophobic, and this might not be true.
I agree with it though.
But the most homophobic, they're doing that to hide what's inside.
Yes,
they're scared.
You know,
they're scared.
I agree with that. I've been out one time with a guy, and I'm very open. I love people as a whole. I love people, and then if I don't love you, I'm just very.
Because you did say earlier you were asexual, so you might be gay also. Good.
Asexual is not gay. Asexual means you're not attracted to either sex.
I don't know why that's on there. Well,
A is up there.
A means you don't have a sexual attraction to either one. That's what that means. It doesn't mean you're gay. Stop it.
Let me take it back. So it's like LGBTQA. That whole category is for people whose sexuality diverges from normal heterosexuality. So let me apologize to anyone out there that is asexual.
Yes,
you can be in this acronym.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Yes. That's the one I think. Yeah.
So anyway, I remember going out with someone, and on my birthday, this was my birthday, that's why I remember it like it was yesterday, and we were in the city, and everybody knows how the city is my best friend, my neighbor, I just love being there, and that's my element. And we were in the village, and this was New Year's Eve, and so what they like to be called there is fairies. So I was they do, yes.
Who, they like to be called that?
Yes.
Who likes to be called that?
My friends in the city, in the village.
Well, East Village always been gay.
These are the friends I was hanging out with at the pizza shop, right?
Okay.
So the person I was with was so taken aback by me being friendly, like we hanging out, that they ruined my whole birthday.
Why?
Because they were so angry and vocal about it. Like, I don't want to be around them. Why you around? Like, it was like a lot. It was a lot for me on my birthday. I'm really like, no, don't do that. So they ruined my whole birthday by that. And I think that was really because they were fighting their own issues that I already kind of thought.
Their own hidden issues?
You know, I already had thought that already.
Just because somebody's homophobic doesn't mean that they're gay. You know, I'll put that out there also. But there's some kind of insecurity there. They are threatened. Their masculinity is threatened.
Could it be from their upbringing?
It's possible. Maybe they were brought up very old school, very strict.
Right.
It's possible religious reasons.
But to that extent, I just think religious people are very gay. Don't lie about that.
No, religious people are very judgmental.
And gay. The guys in the church be the gayest men. Stop lying.
We have a term. I'll educate you guys on the term, a church queen. Yes. We have the term church queen, and there are plenty of church queens.
They be playing that piano meanwhile.
No.
Singing the gospel, singing the praise. There is a church queen.
No, it is now. I will say this: the gayest cats are usually the choir directors. Yes.
Yeah.
They usually they clap a certain way.
And in the Catholic Church, we know what we have here.
Right.
Right.
So yes, it transcends. It transcends through each religion. It transcends for sure.
Agree.
But the girls get way less slack. Like most guys can go on a porn and watch two girls getting it on.
Yes.
And that is no problem at all.
If I said what I wanted to say in this moment, the people that know me know what I want to say. I won't say it. But you're right. You're absolutely right,
now, Rob. Any guy, mostly 9 out of 10 guys can go on a porn right now and watch two girls getting it on.
Yeah, nobody would think it.
And as long as they don't bring like a dildo or something to the picture, if they're going back and forth with each other, guys will accept that. Now flip that.
That's not okay. It's not fair. It's not fair. So
it's a double standard.
It's not a double. But it's a double standard for society.
For society.
So it's like women can't watch two men get it on because what does that mean?
Women can, but guys can't.
But a woman should be able to too. But it's not
women
accepted.
Can.
It's not accepted.
It's not.
It's not.
I think some women do. I'll talk about that later.
Some women probably do. Don't forget, y'all. The number's 203-435-5959. Heterosexual, please call in. It doesn't matter if you're gay. Call in. Do your thing, please. I gotta watch what the fuck I say because I'll get ridiculed later.
Oh, look at you. See, you worried about the pause thing. No pause into
No, I stopped saying the pause shit because it's stupid. Like I know what I'm saying. If I say they got Ferraro's got great meat on sale, I don't gotta pause that. It's fucking talking about meat, not dick.
What kind of meat? I'm like, wait, hold on.
Yeah, because you would be trying like. Dave, fuck.
Why you had to use that reference? Like,
no, you could say meat. Like, yo, they got. Well, you're right. I'm fucked up right now.
I'm like, they closed early. I was like, hold on. I'm like, we can go over there.
Shit. I just pulled myself into a gay joke.
I don't know. I'm a little tipsy. I'm just thinking about meat. Right? Whatever. Let's certain people say certain shit and they'll pause it. But I stopped doing the pause shit because it's like stupid. It's corny.
It is corny.
Yeah, it's stupid now. Like,
if they want to do it, that's
just
fine.
Talk,
whatever.
Just
but
yeah, I mean, you're not.
Stop thinking about it.
By you saying pause, it means you're not gay. It could be saying.
Right.
Just talk.
I remember the no homo craze. That's been around for a long time.
No homo.
Yeah,
it still goes on.
It's still extra.
No homo.
Yeah.
Now, do you think the gay community is trying to push an agenda, like push their movement on the rest of society?
This is difficult for me to answer. I'm not your typical gay guy. I don't think anyone really is. That's a stereotype. But I think sometimes yes, sometimes no. It really depends.
So let's go with it. Sometimes yes. What happens with sometimes yes?
I'm trying to think of an example, like Pride,
like Gay Pride Day.
That's what I'm saying. And of course,
as opposed to having heterosexual day, that would be considered a disrespect.
They did do that in Boston recently.
They did it in Boston,
and that was a problem.
Heterosexual day.
Yeah,
and it became it's like real touchy.
But that is touchy because somebody posted today, heterosexual people are going to start being criticized. Like, oh, you straight? That's whack. That's
that just happens too sometimes.
That's crazy.
Like, what does that mean?
Those are breeders. We use the term breeders. That's something
breeders?
that we say in the gay community.
Breeders.
Wait, so right? Heterosexual people are now called breeders.
I haven't heard that term too much. I've heard it from time to time.
It makes sense, though. It makes sense.
Well, you have to be, according to what I'm hearing, you have to be careful on how you use your terminology. Like with a transgender.
But they don't have to be. Look at how they use. We don't know. See,
my daughter goes to a school. My daughter goes to a school where
you can say what you want to say behind closed doors, but we can't.
My daughter said to me, when it's a transgender around, it's not fair to say he or she. You have to say they.
I don't know about this.
That's
they.
Not plural.
That's confusing to me.
That's way confusing.
I don't know what they mean.
And this is in a high school now.
I know. I'm with you, Rob. I'm with you.
All right. So you said she goes to co-op.
She goes to co-op.
Okay. Is that that's like a more artistic?
But
that's like a.
But they mean,
school.
are you cloned now? Are you a they? That's what I'm thinking.
I don't know.
There's like more of you. How many of?
I meant to read. I apologize, y'all. I meant to read more about this stuff before I came. For they,
that's okay.
I'm still not really sure about that. Like, but I would say like identify whatever the individual wants to identify as.
Right. They? What does that mean? I'm he,
if they want to
she?
be a they, it's hard for me to say they. I don't really know how to like Kwani. Okay, like they is over there drinking a drink. Like it just sounds weird.
It sounds bad. That's what I was saying.
It's not proper English.
Yes.
I wish she was in here. I would ask her because she told me the other day.
Like they are over there. Like who am I talking? How many people am I talking about?
So I'm confused about that.
Yes.
Maybe I need to read a little bit and
they
try to
want to have a
it.
double. Like you got a multiple personality disorder you need to work on. For me, that's where I'm going with it. Because I can't get with
like
they. And I'm sorry, I love the community. But the they thing, I think, needs to be streamlined.
Let me just say that nobody born before like 1996 is going to identify as they. That's like a young generation.
I don't know how she termed it, but she said it to me the other day.
I heard it before. You're right.
We had a conversation.
You're absolutely right, Rob.
Now, what did you say about transgender
young person
as opposed to he, she, or huh? Oh, you ask them.
I agree.
And it's usually they.
Yeah, sometimes they want to be called like, oh, they did this or they did that. Or sometimes they'll tell you if they want to be called by he or she.
Oh, but they make that clear first.
Yeah, they make that clear. Why can't I just call you by your name? Why do I need these special prefixes to address you? This is a lot for me.
It's like
I want you to be normal. Please be normal. Like, talk. What's your name?
But that's how they feel normal by being called.
What's your name? What's your name? What's your name? Your new name.
Okay.
Is your new name they? Because I'll call you that if that's your new name. But if your new name is Bob, Radar, Sock, whatever your name is.
Orange.
Yes, whatever it is. Let me address you as such. Why do you guys need to have so much like definition to be defined so intricately? Like that makes no like that aggravates my soul. Like I can't be defined in that way.
Like it almost. Maybe because I'm not a Generation Z, I'm a millennial. I'm just trying to think like.
Wait. What the fuck does that mean?
What?
Generation Z or millennial?
I'm a Generation Zer too.
I don't know.
Millennial?
So what am I? What am I? I don't know what the fuck.
Generation Z is born. If you're born 1995 or later, I thought.
I'm definitely not that. Wait a minute, no. I'm Generation X.
X, right?
So what am I?
Yes.
What
you like
mad old. 1968.
You like a hippie.
Like
I don't know. He like
X,
mad
right?
old. I don't know.
Is that part of Generation X?
No.
I thought it was.
He's not part of my generation.
No? What are you?
I'm 78 to on.
Like I'm an alien or something?
Like you mad. You like baby boomer era.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. This shit is now. It is confusing. It's confusing.
I don't understand it myself. Like he, she. Yes, I understand he, she, they. Like I said, I might have to look up. Do some research. I will admit I might have to research that and find out the
what day is about
methodology behind that because I don't know. But it's confusing to me also. Aren't there other words besides they?
See, yeah, somebody else said Dakita. I think that's your name. Is that your name, Dakita? That's a nice name. It's almost like Dakota, but
Dakita Scott.
It got some black in it, so it's like Dakita.
That's my fam.
Okay,
Harlem.
Yeah. It's like Dakota, but
All
black.
Right, shout out to Harlem. Hey. Okay, I love Harlem. All right.
Hold up, David. Have you moved through Harlem before?
Oh my God.
Oh, you have moved through Harlem. Okay.
Washington Heights.
Washington Heights. Jesus fucking Christ. Gee, Dakita, call in. Washington Heights.
Come on.
That's our spot. That's yeah.
Washington Heights was
Wait,
so much
Dakita
fun.
said, I have very close friends, trans friends, and I call them by their name. I was raised that it's disrespectful to say things like them or they.
I agree with you, Dakita. I do. It's confusing. I don't understand, right? They, them. Even earlier when I was talking about transgender population, I said them. I referred to them as them, and I don't know if I liked the way I said that. I don't really know.
Them? That sound like kind of like a them.
Like
them, like they
like
over there.
Them.
Yeah.
And there's a history of that too. Like,
can I grab this call?
Absolutely.
Yo, it's the Raw Report. What do you want to be referred as?
Your cousin.
Oh, what's up, Nikita? What's up, baby?
Hey.
What's good?
What's good? You know mommy. You know how she was.
Right.
And we always, you know what I'm saying? I have very close friends that are calling someone they or them was grounds for getting slapped because it's disrespectful. You don't call someone they or them unless you're speaking in a specific way in regards to a term in a sentence. However, you call someone by their name. Whatever they consider, themselves in regards to their gender, I personally am the kind of person that I feel like mind your business. Okay. Unless you're trying to be in the part of their life, mind your business.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? If Larry is Larry Monday through Thursday, and then Friday through Sunday, he is Laura. On Monday through Thursday, you call him Larry, and then on Thursday through Sunday, you call him Laura because that's what Larry do. Unless you're trying to do what Larry do, then mind your business do what Larry do. That's how.
Larry need to put his wig on and be Laura for the weekend and enjoy. And then on
you
Monday,
understand what I'm saying?
Yes, and on Monday it's bye wig and back to your normal life, right?
You understand? Because Larry got bills to pay just like you.
Yes.
Unless you're trying to pay Larry's bills for him, then hey, it's what it is.
But what if Larry go home to his wife Ashley, and then Ashley don't know that Larry's living a double life?
I've had friends like Larry who was going home to his wife Ashley, and there's a couple of scenarios to that. First of all, Ashley, and she might like Larry on Monday and Thursday, and she might like on Friday and Sunday too.
Okay, so he's bi.
Strange things, and some people do strange things for fun and for change. That's just life. I've had friends that do things, and I've explained to them, listen, I can respect what you do. I cannot respect when you're doing it in a way that's...
Wait, what happened to Nikita?
Nikita, where you at, baby?
Her phone is going.
Her phone is going in and out. We having some.
Yeah, I wanted to go back on a D-Wade and his son thing really quickly. So I know we talked about being 12 years old and having that sexual identity crisis, so to speak. But what about actually making that commitment, a reassignment?
At 12 years old?
Whoa, imagine. Or even as soon as he said, as soon as I hit puberty, I'm going to make that reassignment. What do you think about that?
Nikita, sorry, we lost you. What happened?
No, I don't know where you lost me at, but my thing is, I've always been the type that told my friends, that's what you do, then be honest with you. If you're going to do something, be who you are, because you're to yourself as well as to the other person. The more you're to yourself, to be honest with who you are. And if that's what you do, then that's what you do. I have learned that there are a lot of people who...
Nikita, your phone. I hope it's not
We
our...
got some Android stuff going on.
That's my team. That's my team.
I don't think it's us, but I'll hold on. Let me I'll take care of it. Go ahead. I just keep talking your talk.
So, David, again, so I want us to discuss or figure out the reassignment. If I said I wanted to be reassigned anywhere before 18, what would you feel about that?
I think there should be a law against that. I'm sorry. Like, your body is not developed yet.
But I just heard someone actually, the woman who was supposed to come up on the show tonight helped me understand that. You know, that gets paid for by the government, by medical insurance.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
They do.
They do it now. They pay for it now.
New.
That's new.
Oh, yeah.
I had no idea of that until I don't know, 4 days ago.
Okay.
Yes, that they pay for that now. So people can so plastic surgery, your big old butt, if you're a woman, or whatever you want done to you. Exactly. Whatever you want to say.
Let me stop that.
If you want to do any of that other cosmetic surgery, that is not paid for. You got to come out your pocket with that.
Yeah.
But for reassignment surgery, the government is now paying for that. And that's the part that gets the line construed, and I get to on my high horse with it about, are they pushing this? Is it their agenda? Because now that's a little much. Like, what's that about?
Right. I have to say I'm torn between that because, about medical insurance covering it, it's not a medical issue.
But I feel like they're tying it into mental, and because they're tying it into mental, they're now saying
that it's a medical issue because it's a mental health issue.
Oh my God.
Is it? But it shouldn't. I don't think it should be categorized as a mental health issue either.
That is so crazy. I don't even know if people know that now.
It's not a mental health issue. This is
I
difficult,
just learned
right?
that. It's crazy.
Wait, so you said it's not mental health?
It might be psychological, but I don't think it's.
But if you say it's psychological, you
everything
downplay
psychological is mental health.
But you downplay it. Now you're saying I chose this based on my incapacity or my mental disability, so
right.
I chose this lifestyle, and because of that, it's something wrong with me mentally, and that's what many people say on the other side of the fence. I mean, not sexual identity, we're talking about sexual orientation, and many people are saying that that's mental. So that makes now sexual identity, if they're paying for it just strictly off the fact that you were born wrong, and you have said to the government, I was not supposed to be a guy. I'm supposed to be a girl, and only way I can get through life is if you fix me.
In society, generally or historically, I think they would laugh at that. Like, we're not paying for that.
I know. I just found it. I was so stuck.
I'm not saying I disagree with it, but at the same time, this is difficult, right? You're not going to die if you don't get your reassignment.
Or you could pay for it like other people do for cosmetic surgery. Why are we taxpayers now paying for you to get reassignment surgery? Because
I told you earlier, the gay cats is running shit.
They are. I agree with that.
They got the power.
If we look at it like a mental health issue, but I don't want to. If you categorize it as a mental health issue, then that makes it look like
the way
it's
Smith said
negative.
Taxpayers are paying for it, not the government. Is all one and the same. Remember that we put our money into the government, therefore they pay for it. Come on, come on.
Yeah. Exactly. So, and a lot of people don't agree with it. I do. If somebody wants their reassignment, I agree with it. Whether taxpayers should pay for it or not, I'm kind of undecided. I think I'm leaning toward that they should not. I hate to say. I'm sorry to whoever's listening that's transgender.
I want a bigger booty, and the government is not paying for my
who
butt.
You tell it.
Let me hit her ass up.
I'll be at the Edge Fitness. I'm like, let me do my squats.
Exactly, me too. Like, let me get this workout.
It's hard out here. I ain't built like that.
Now what? Is the government or taxpayers paying for this stuff because they know that the LGBTQ is powerful and they make decisions now, political decisions.
Now, let's see.
Like you have a person running for president that's openly gay.
Everything is about money. We all need to remember that everything comes down to money. Money is not the root of all evil. Money is the root of everything. And money funds political campaigns. Money funds politicians. Somebody is giving money to, and like, I don't want to go there, liberal versus conservative, Democrats versus Republicans, whatever. Somebody is giving money to the Democrats. I don't know how far I want to go into politics
Me
right
either,
now.
because I get tricky with that too.
I've seen some of your posts.
Exactly.
Honestly, all right, I will say it. The Democrats and the Republicans, neither of them care. It's all about the money. It's all about looking good. It's all about getting votes.
Yes, it's all about getting votes.
So,
you see Bloomberg out here pandering on the black people. He doing worse than Hillary out in these streets right now.
Bloomberg is doing the same. I'm ready to vote for that motherfucker.
I swear to God.
And I've been stopping frisk before.
I swear to God, if you vote for Bloomberg. No, we're not pushing any political agendas up here. Stop it.
No, like I'm just saying, like I'm just trying to explain the science behind, or the methodology behind it with the funding. Let me put this Tito's down.
Nope, like you were saying, your tongue start to get a little slippery.
Exactly, but it has made me all right. Anyway, so yeah, it's all about the funding. It's all about getting votes. I mean, it's the same thing with gun control. The Republicans, they get all that money from the gun, and the NRA, and all that stuff, and they're like, yeah, we love guns. Like, I'm not saying I agree or disagree with any of this stuff, but that's
But the Democrats get on their high horse too. They got mass shootings and they like gun control. And lock the guns up. It's the gun's fault,
right?
Not the person's fault,
right?
Yeah.
And And so it's the same thing, with the sexual identity situation. Now let me try to think how to word this. From looking around my local community, you wouldn't think so. That's a whole other issue. I don't even know if we're going to get into that, if we even have time to get. Well, we probably do got time.
We probably
don't. Look at, like statistically, they say that gay people have a higher income because they're not bogged down with children and like responsibilities such as that. So you would think that maybe they have the money to give these Democratic politicians all of this funding so that they then support our cause, so that they support gay people. Looking at the local community, most of the dudes that be trying to talk to me ain't even got a car, they ain't got a job.
They haven't embraced their gay
though. Wait, you're going through the same shit that females go through? God damn it all. Wait, Dave, are you going through the same, like, a dude's trying to move in? Like that type of shit?
You got to protect. With the winter time, you don't let them know you got your own place.
Homosexuals?
Oh, God. I've dealt with a few of those, yes.
They're trying to...
heard the term, wait, can I... I don't know if I should say it.
You should say it.
Hartford sexual.
What's the Hartford sexual?
That's the dudes up in Hartford. This is the heterosexual and homosexual community where they ain't got no place to stay and they move in with a woman or a man. And...
Damn, it happens to the gay. Oh, shit. I didn't know.
I've dealt with one of those too.
I
said, they ain't got to know. That's why I had to move out to the middle of nowhere where I'm at now, because you ain't, the bus don't go where I live. All right, we getting way too personal. If you ain't got no car, you can't get to me.
Wait, I didn't know it would happen I didn't know it happened like that. Like they're trying to cuddle up for the winter?
Oh yeah. Oh, they need somewhere to stay. The heat.
So
they're not trying to paint a penny on that UI bill.
A penny. That's homosexuals.
So if the chicks won't let them come in, they going, oh, that's crazy.
Maybe.
Let me hit
I think there are straight males out there that will sleep with a gay male to get some coins.
Get some.
Agree.
Have you actually spent money, like a guy that you really like? Have you actually just said, let me go out and buy him whatever he wants?
Not whatever he wants, but
the PS4. Let him hold a car.
Yeah, David's a little bit of pre-sugar daddy.
I'm a little too cheap for a PS4. I can't do that.
But you do a little cancer. You do a little giving.
Maybe like you said, what?
Little cancer stuff. Little giving.
I can't stand being a Cancer, y'all. Well, I'm July 21st. Fortunately, I'm towards the end, but
which is good. Yeah,
I got the Leo tendencies that creep in. But here and there, it takes somebody out to dinner, like whatever. If you know. I don't do anything crazy.
What's gay for pay? Shanika Harris said gay for pay.
A lot of people are gay for pay. That's a
Some
fact.
people are gay for pay.
Yes, they are.
Oh, you mean they'll be gay?
There are straight. I feel like
do my thing too.
there are straight men out there that do gay porn, right? I think so.
And they are sexy. Some of those men.
There are straight men in the street.
What are you pointing at me for?
Not you. I'm pointing at the camera.
Congratulations. You played yourself.
Let me fucking hit you right quick. Fuck.
Oh, I'm about to. No, I'm kidding. There are straight men in the gay strip club stripping on the.
Honestly, I don't believe they're straight gay. I think they.
Wait, they're straight, but they strip for guys?
Yeah, I know a lot of guys that do that too, but I don't feel like they're 100% straight. I feel like depending on the offer, they would let a guy suck them off. They would let somebody play with their butt. I think it depends. It depends.
It's a wide variety. There's a wide spectrum. I didn't even discuss the spectrum concept. I don't know when we want to talk about that.
Yeah, I want to hear about the spectrum. I want to hear.
That, sexuality is fluid. That, well, maybe there are some people that are 100% straight or some people that are 100% gay, but there's a whole range of in between. That should be addressed.
Ooh.
And
I'm gonna let you have the floor in this one.
I'll just say, I don't know who watching this, whatever. But
no, we're just talking very general.
Exactly. I'll just say that I would not object to trying a female out. There was I thought there was this girl at the gym, this thick white ghetto girl. I was like, just kept staring at me. I was like, what does she want? I was like, all right, she's pretty, but I didn't really know what to do from there.
I'm done with you. I'm done with you right now.
So you weren't aroused by her at all.
I'm done with you.
I wouldn't say I was
aroused. He just described her as
she was pretty.
He said she was pretty and she was
cute.
thick.
She was taking a little picture. She had a little duck face going on. She thought she was feeling herself. Little blonde, thick blonde ghetto white girl.
And then what? What happened after that?
Nothing.
Nothing happened at all.
Did she approach you?
No, she did not.
Ashanti said, you can't be straight and do gay porn. He's just gay.
All right, so maybe, you know what? I might have worded it incorrectly. So I think there are men who identify as straight. Not to say that they are straight, but they identify as straight and they do gay porn. And you're right, they're probably not straight, but they go to work, quote unquote, they do their business,
right?
They do the gay porn, and then they go back to their families and stuff like that. I'm not saying it's right. Maybe if their wife knows about it, then okay, fine, if they communicate that. But if they don't, then that's what we were talking about earlier, how that's a problem. If they're doing other guys and then bringing STDs and all kinds of things back to their partners. But yeah, so I'll rephrase that.
Now it seems like you're being really, really, really careful in how you word things because you could offend someone, right?
Of course.
Someone could be watching and might be offended and say, Dave, you fucked up last night on the show.
I see people I know all up in the comments.
You're getting a lot of love. Don't get me wrong. You're getting love. I'll be like, yo, Dave, what's up? We see you. Now, these people that's showing you love, are they gay? Or maybe you can't answer that. That's kind of a bad question because you can't put them out there like that.
I don't want to say yes or no.
Right. My cousin just told me to pick up my lip because I'm trying to understand, what this is about. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like the agenda and the like everything that comes with the whole movement because it is a movement. Mm-hmm. Would you say that?
Yes.
It's definitely a movement.
It's a movement.
The gay
movement. And it could be agenda too. I do think it has a tendency to be
So agenda sounds so negative. Can you tell me why you think it's an agenda? Like, what does that entail?
A lot of people...
We want everyone to be gay?
Yes.
I be thinking that sometimes.
I do too. Like, is this sexual fluidity or is this line? Or now with insurances now, you have a choice to put gender X, which means you don't identify as either one. And that's a choice that they're pushing on a medical level. And I don't like the force of anything I don't like. But wait, hold on, David. I'm not really cute. I'm not really cool with that. And then you have it in cartoons. You have it in commercials. Everywhere you look, there's this, this is in front of you. It's in front of you. I don't even know what to say. I don't know how to word it. I want to be careful with my words here tonight. But it's in front of you. And I get that people want to be more open. But if I have a child who's impressionable, and now my child who's impressionable is seeing this so often,
right?
They're seeing it, and that's where that nature versus nurture does come into play. Because now they're seeing this as an option.
Acceptable.
And where they may not have before. And now when they're trying to figure out who they are as a person, their sexual orientation, what they want to do with their life, no matter what it is, they're now saying, do I like guys? Is that my thing? Yeah. Do I like girls? I am kind of attracted to both. And so now it's just like, it's just so many options. It's too many.
Yeah. Before you said that, we have a gay check-in. Denise Kennedy said,
"Hi, Denise.
I'm gay." Wait. What the fuck is going?
What? I know Denise.
Oh, you know Denise?
Yeah.
Now Denise she's saying, "Hi, I'm gay." Hey, Dave. But look at her gay. Hi, I'm gay. Hey, Dave.
What?
That's cool.
You're gay?
No. Denise just said she was gay.
What's happening?
Can you imagine a dude getting up there saying that right now?
They should.
Somebody hell out.
They should say it. They should. Well. If you said it more often, now I'm gonna get a little bit raw and raunchy with you, because we got people who really will live black, and especially in the black culture, who will live this lie, bring home God knows what to their wives,
right,
and then still act as if they never stepped outside the norm. And that's where it pisses me off.
That's problematic.
Because they can't.
That happens. That pisses me off, because now why can't you just own it at that point and say, yeah, I did try this, and maybe that's a possibility.
Well, Tank said it, and they crucified him.
They did, but he should have owned it.
Yeah, I mean, the issue was not that they're gay. The issue was that they're lying and they're dishonest and they're being shady.
That's all it's about.
That's
what it's about. It's not about you being gay.
That can happen.
Nor
he
being
could go
bisexual.
out and mess with a bunch of women, mess with women at his office, or mess with women wherever he work at.
And then lie about it. It's still gonna get the same sort of reaction. It's still cheating.
I mean, but then there may be more of a
propensity to like men than they like women.
I might have been wrong. Quincy Cooper said, "Hey, Dave," and then his yes was a yes with multiple S's.
Watching. Dave does not want to.
His S's. His yes was a yes with multiple S's.
Exactly.
Multiple S's mean.
There's some people that are out there. They can say
I was fucking wrong.
I know maybe like half the people in these comments. I don't.
Yeah, it's the one that hide that we as women have a problem with.
Ashanti Stamp, I'm on your ass.
We love you, but if you're not, if you're you're living your life as a secret, and then you're bringing it back to us, and we're falling in love with you as a human, and then you lie to us about what you're attracted to. It's just not okay. No. Because you never know. Like I said, some women are accepting of that. They'd be like, "Oh, well, bring your friend, and your friend can get with my friend, and we could be friends."
I'm like, hey, oh God, I'm trying so hard not to be nasty. Maybe I should take another drink. I don't know.
The Tito's is loosening your ass. I'm sorry. Let me hit myself. I almost fucked up. I almost gave myself a pause. Ashanti said I was coming out. See, I can't even talk. Rob is what did she say?
Let's see. 2 is better than 1. 2 heads are better than 1.
I can't even laugh. I can't even.
No, he can't.
I can't.
Rob, you should laugh. You can laugh.
Yo, Ashanti just said Rob's coming out. Look, Rob's coming out and living his truth. What the fuck kind of talk is that, yo?
Who said that?
Ashanti Stamp, the one who called her here. She was so brilliant. Now she said Rob's coming out and
look at Denise. What Denise said. Read that, Rob.
Which one is? What did Denise say? Denise, I don't see it. Denise said, "I have a friend who knows someone who is married and has a whole side relationship with a man. I wish I knew his wife so I could tell her, but he can't say anything because he probably been trapped in that for so long that he can't." if he's subject to lose his marriage.
He is, but he should be honest about his sexuality or his preferences. He can do.
There's so much to lose.
They might have children together. They might have children.
Right.
Together.
There's so much to lose by being
but
honest.
You think he just all of a sudden started being gay?
No.
That's what I'm saying. So shouldn't he have? I feel like you could introduce it in small ways. You'll be surprised at what people are accepting.
Can I tell you what happened to be at college?
Please
just like you never know. Like I hate to say it, like, and people use the term gaydar. Let me just say I have the worst gaydar ever. My gaydar is worse than some straight people's gaydar. I have no fucking idea sometimes. And I'm like, so when I was at college, like, I don't want to age myself too much. I know I'm younger than y'all, but let me be careful how I say that. Let me be careful how I say that. But when I was at college, somebody hit me up on AOL Instant Messenger.
Okay, I remember that. Wow.
Yeah. And I was like, who is this? And he wouldn't identify who he was. And he was like, oh, I see you around. Like, I'm gonna fuck the shit out of you or whatever. I was like, who is this? And he was like, I'm not telling you who I am. Like, I'm not out or whatever. But, you know, me and a bunch of dudes on campus, like we mess around with each other. I never found out who it was, but like we mess around with each other. And like it was crazy. Like he started naming people. Well, he didn't identify who he was. He started naming
other people
all over campus
really?
that I thought was straight. It was just crazy.
But did you find out he had some truth to what he was saying, some validity?
One of those people was outed a few years later. This happened in 2006. He was outed in like 2010, I think, and it was all over Twitter and stuff. Wow. It was crazy. I felt bad, but I'm not gonna go too much into it.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah.
Brittany, if you can call in. Brittany said this is all super problematic. I want Brittany to call in and get.
Yeah, it's not easy to talk about.
No,
right?
it is.
Yeah, it's definitely not. It's definitely
not easy. And again, we want to be very transparent and allowing people to have their opinions and us being able to speak about what we see. And like we said, we have one side of the fence who does feel like they're pushing the gay agenda. Then we have another side that's very much more accepting of what's to come. So, you know, I think me personally, I just toe the line between what they're trying to push upon me and what I'm willing to accept. And I keep it there.
Dwayne said the whole gay lifestyle is a lie. 2 men or 2 women can't procreate. They didn't get here from a same-sex union.
We all know that part.
Right. Maybe it is. Somebody mentioned population control. Maybe it is. Maybe
the hormones they put in the food.
It could be that. It could be
dairy.
Evolution. It could
that
be
dairy alone. I told you that meat alone when we first started this show.
I love meat. And I'm not saying that to be funny. Like we were talking about diet. I tried to be vegetarian for like a week. Well, it was even worse when I gave up carbs. I was yelling and cussing people out and stuff. But how do I say it? I don't mean evolution like gay is better than straight or anything like that. It could be evolution in the sense that the world is overpopulated and maybe, you know, it might be scary for some people to accept, but maybe it's slowly starting to happen in a sense that more people are becoming gay in order to control the population. Not that it's happening. Gay? Not that it's happening purposefully, but you got to think, how did we become humans? You got to think about evolution.
So I think again it goes back to the food, because evolution is based on climate. Evolution is based on where you live. You know, evolution is based on a lot of factors.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
If we start thinking that kind of brings it back to what people are saying, it's in the food.
Can we grab this?
Right.
Absolutely.
It's the Raw Report. Talk to us.
What's up? It's Nicole.
Turn down what you listen to in the background.
Down. Wait.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
So, I have a question for the guy, David.
Okay.
Does he agree with Dwayne Wade's decision to allow his son to come out as transgender at such a young age?
I can't say that I can agree, it's Dwayne Wade as a parent. I would say that it's his choice as to what he wants to do with his son, or daughter. I apologize, but
do you say daughter? Does he say daughter?
I don't know.
Right?
Does Dwayne Wade's son want to be called?
He just says she. He doesn't say
right.
All right.
I'll say daughter out of respect for whatever she wants to do, but it's difficult. Like I was saying before, I don't believe in any major life changes such as reassignment or anything like that at such a young age, but it's a really tough thing for me to answer. I would say that Dwayne Wade should support his daughter or son in however they feel. I don't think that like, how do I explain it? Like, what is he really going to do about this identity issue identification that his child is having? Like, what is he, do you know what I mean? Like, how is he really going to change that and be like, no, you're a guy, stop it? I think that could be kind of traumatic for his child. Like, oh, my father doesn't support me. My father doesn't support my decisions. Or not even decisions. My father doesn't support me as who I identify with. It's difficult. You got to think too, like, things are changing around 12 years old already. When you look back in the day, like hundreds of years ago, people were getting married at 12 years old. People were, it's disturbing to think about, but people, yeah. So biologically, I could kind of think as to why this is happening. So, yeah, I think
Did you hear him?
I mean,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I heard him. So my issue with the entire situation, I'm a parent 3 times over, so I'm going to support my daughters, good, bad, wrong, indifferent, whatever, because I love them unconditionally, right? So, but I'm not going to let my 12-year-old make such a drastic decision, because at 12, I'm still responsible for buying your clothes. I'm responsible for what you're going to look like.
I understand.
And I think my biggest issue with Dwayne, honestly, is I feel like they're exploiting Zaya.
Yes.
Probably. He's in the spotlight, right?
Agree with that.
And I don't think a child should be the face of this. I don't think that a child should be in front of this. That's my biggest issue is. Yeah,
it is exploitative. I agree. Now, who publicized this? I'm sorry. Like I said, I haven't really been reading about
it. The father, Dwayne Wade did it.
He didn't have to do that.
Gabrielle Union actually did that first.
They could have kept that private.
And she's not even his mom.
If the child is under 18, they could have kept that private.
And his mom has said, that's still my daughter. I mean, that's still my son. His mom is not, I guess, kind of opposed to it, so to speak. What do you think about that, Nick? What do you think about the mom? Nick?
Yeah, I think the mother, I mean, she's absolutely right, and she's within her right. That's her son, and I think Gabrielle kind of oversteps her boundaries in so many different ways, but that's a whole other conversation. But definitely at 12, I'm going to love you. I'm going to support you. Yeah. But what I'm not going to do is, allow you to be the face of such a monumental and such a humongous movement. I'm not going to be on talk shows and radio stations and magazine interviews, you're still going to dress like a boy. No, you don't have to dress, quote unquote, thugged out, but you're going to dress like a boy. And when you come of age and you're able to purchase your own clothing, then you do what you want to do. But while you're a child, and I'm taking care of you, you're going to operate as such. I'm just not happy, but look what his father dresses like, but that's a whole other conversation as well.
True.
But I'm really, really, I'm disappointed because they have such a large platform, both Gabby and, Dwayne. And I'm not happy with it. It really disturbs me. And I 100% understand exactly where Boosie was coming from when he made that statement. I honestly do.
Right.
I don't think he was meaning to be disrespectful to the child.
He's disrespectful. Boosie mad disrespectful anyway.
Who's Boosie?
He's a rapper, Lil Boosie.
Oh, Lil Boosie. Yeah, I know who that is.
Yeah.
Like, if I was a parent, I'm not a parent, so maybe I can't really speculate. But if I was a parent, I think I would just, and I was a celebrity parent, I would try to keep that not on the low, but I wouldn't put my child's business out there like that.
Let's talk about it. Thank you so much, Nikki, for calling in tonight.
All right. Good night, love.
Good night.
Thank you.
So let's talk about that, because she made some really good points, because that's kind of where I stand with it. The exploitation that Dwayne Wade is coming across as did he just leave NBA? What is he doing with his NBA career? How's that looking? He retired?
I don't know if he's still playing.
I think he retired, right?
He might have retired. Yeah.
So you retired, now this is the horse you're going to ride with your wife, who already has kind of demasculated you to society standards anyway, and now you're riding on this horse and exploiting your son, that his mother is so opposed to this that she's vocal about it.
She's opposed to the son being. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's vocal about it, and so she's opposed. But it's yet you still choose to do interviews. You're on Good Morning America when I wake up in the morning. Like, what is that about, dude?
So she's interviewing about her child.
No,
on TV?
he is.
Oh, he is.
He is because he has a biography or autobiography coming out that he's pushing, and then he's including his son versus his break baby, or versus any of his. Where he kind of touches upon his break baby, very like small piece, but his son is like the forefront and center of his autobiography, and that's the part that pisses me off because we have so many celebrities. So I got a list of celebrities whose children are gay, transgender, or the likes.
Right.
So Charlize Theron, that's a whole nother conversation.
Oh yeah.
She has changed her son's identity to a girl, and I do not believe the little boy wants to be gay.
How old?
He's like 7. I think he's 7. Yeah, he's like 7 years old.
Yeah, that's way too early.
Like, she's been pushing. She adopted this little black boy, so I already feel like that's an agenda within itself because she's from a place of South Africa that we're not going to discuss tonight. So I just already feel like her background tells me different, and I don't like what she's doing to that child. Period. Now we got Charlize Theron. We got Cynthia Nixon from Sex and the City.
Really?
Yeah. So she has a daughter who was Samantha, like her character. Well, wasn't her character.
Her name is Samantha. She named her daughter Samantha?
Yeah, her daughter is Samantha.
Why the heck would she do that?
But now her daughter is now Seth.
Seth.
Yes. So her daughter has went through the assignment and everything.
Then how old?
I like
assignment.
Yeah,
what do you mean?
like teenager. She's a teenager. She went through assignment. She reassigned and everything. Her daughter.
Okay.
Yeah. So Sade's daughter son went through the reassignment as well. Her daughter was Michaela. Her daughter is now Isaac.
And she was under 18 when this happened?
It's been going on for some time. If you follow her, I don't believe she's under 18. I think now she's about 20, her early 20s now. But she went through the whole gender reassignment surgery for sure. And I've been following her journey for some years because she has made it a process. She's very vocal. She's very open about her whole assignment, even when she had her mastectomy or whatever they call it. I think they just, and it was breast removal. Yeah. Marlon Wayans' daughter Maya is a lesbian stud. R. Kelly's daughter, which is so funny. That's so funny. R. Kelly's daughter Jaya wants to be called Jay.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, go figure. That's his daughter with Drea too.
Right.
Yeah, so Magic Johnson's son, we all know EJ, right? We all know EJ is fabulous though. Let's
all
not
over
be,
Instagram, right.
Let's not be fooled. EJ is serving all kind of looks out in these streets. EJ is serving. And then we have Cher's daughter, as we know, who was our first kind of introduction to this whole transgender and celebrity anyway.
Right.
That's all we have really
That
saw.
was a struggle. Cher didn't really accept that.
No, she didn't.
First. Right.
She didn't. She didn't, but she went through what she went through, and now she went from chastity to Chaz, right? So we've been seeing it for a while, and it hasn't made headlines like we see with Dwayne Wade and him pushing this agenda. So that's where I'm like, wait a minute.
I wish I read more about it because I'm trying to think of how much he's really pushing it. But
he's on everything. Turn your I swear to God. Even if you Google it, it's like headlines. I say it was a Good Morning America. I woke up in the morning.
I'm wondering about his intentions as well. Is this to kind of like spread awareness to the transgender community? Is this to make people feel accepted, or is this some kind of publicity stunt?
That's the line.
Is he clamoring for some kind of fame or recognition right now?
That's the part. It's that line. It's like that fine line. Like, are you doing this? And even though he said his son and Zaya is daughter now, is now comfortable with him coming out and telling that story, I feel like he's only doing it for the publicity that it serves him. I think it's very narcissistic of him to even push his son's story before his son is really ready to tell his own story.
That's tough. Like,
right?
His child, I'm just say child because I don't know about son or daughter, but the child needs to focus on school and the 3 R's, the reading, writing, and arithmetic, and just, I don't know. It's like
school is different now.
I don't want to contradict myself, but like, before I was like, people can know at a young age, like hundreds of years ago, 12-year-olds were getting married, etc. Like, yes, like biologically, maybe that may be the case, but at the same time, like, do you really want to take on that responsibility of being a public figure for transgender people?
Yes.
Like,
that's
a lot.
big.
It's almost traumatic.
Yeah, that's big.
Like, just focus on school. Like,
that's huge.
I don't know.
Well, it's hard to do
can't
that.
imagine him being in school right now, public school.
Because you still have your little kids around that's doing the bullying.
Yeah.
You hear about the suicide all the time.
We do. But that's another way where Dwayne is trying to embrace him. And Dwayne Wade said that when his son first came out to him, that he was one of those people who would have jokes in the locker room about, and he says some really unnice things, and then he had to correct himself and started to do his own research. And see, the part that made me really think about this, like a publicity stuntish, was that he was like, Gabrielle Union reached out to the cast of Pose.
Really? She did? Why was that?
Because she wanted to understand it a little bit more. That's who you reach out to? No, that sounds like you're just trying to land and roll in some sort or some way.
What does she want to go on the show or
like, what is
something?
that about? It didn't even make sense to me.
Being Mary Jane ain't really hitting it off?
Yeah.
Anthony Ellison said, question, if it's natural, then why are our sexual organs the way they are for male and female? Isn't that natural?
I mean, I can come back at it with you know, it's still, I don't want to get nasty, but if it still fits, it fits. And if it can still happen, it can still happen.
He said that if it's natural, then why are our sexual organs the way they are for male and female? Isn't that natural?
For reproduction, yes.
Yes, for reproduction.
But for males having sex
that's what we're supposed
to
really have sex for. Let's be honest about it. When it goes back to,
if you look at like Judeo-Christian values,
it's
and all that
only
kind
supposed
of
to
stuff.
be about reproduction.
Right.
Yeah.
But today, or just in general, I don't, even probably going back to the beginning of time, sex has not always been about reproduction for heterosexual and homosexual people. So,
Dwayne said, you want kids to stick to their studies, but the schools are shoving the gay lifestyle down their young throats. Shaking my head.
How so? I'm not in the school system now, nor do I have a young child. How are they forcing it down the kids' throat nowadays? I would like to hear that take because I'm interested.
Well, I mean, I guess I didn't know that my daughter knew what she knew until we had the conversation. Like
Where did she learn it? Where did she say she learned it from?
School.
Okay, school.
Like she knew when I said, "What does the A mean?" She was like, "Oh, that means asexual." Like she said it like I was a dummy. I didn't know.
So they're studying LGBTQA.
No, she's just in the school, and there's gay guys in the school, gay people in the school, and it's not a big deal for her. Yeah, so maybe he's feeling that.
So are they talking? How does she know? So how she's so educated on it?
They must be talking about it.
Fair enough.
I don't know. Yeah, I can't really speculate because, like I said, I don't have any children either. I haven't been in school for who knows how long. But I think it's okay to focus on it a little bit. If it takes up, the entire curriculum, we're having whole classes about it. I don't think that's
sex
necessary.
ed. Now I'm talking about gay sex. The whole. I'm gonna be like, I out of the bathroom.
In college,
never return.
in college, I'm not talking about classes on gay sex, but in college, maybe it's fine. There are classes on sexuality and sexual orientation and gender studies.
Ready.
That's fine. But in public school and elementary, middle school, high school, maybe I talk about it in health class a little bit, identify it a little bit, just educate people on what homosexuality is. But you don't have to go into it like that necessarily. And I don't think they really do, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't really know what's going on in the schools right now. It might depend on the school. I don't know.
Yeah,
you can tell times have changed
at that age.
You didn't even talk about it at the school. When I went to school, you didn't even discuss
No, you didn't. You didn't discuss
talk
it at
about
all.
it at all.
At all. My sister Faye Monet says, as a public figure, how embarrassing for my dad to announce my personal business to the world. As a kid, that is detrimental. I do either way, right? Even if your mom says, "Oh yeah, my daughter's having sex," you're gonna be embarrassed no matter what. Like my sexual identity or orientation at a prime, like a really gentle 12 years old is like, what are you doing?
Yeah. That's
oh my God. But he said his son was okay with him saying that to get it out. But I now feel like he's riding that wave and I don't like it.
Right. I can't even speculate.
David's being really, really careful tonight. Now, why are you being so careful? Do you feel that you owe that to people that might say, "Yo, Dave, that was fucking wrong what you said"? You being a part of the community, do you have to be kind of careful or walk like thin line?
Not necessarily. No. you know, I have my own opinion. We all have our own opinion. Just because I am part of the LGBTQA community doesn't mean that I have to have strict allegiance to all parts of it. But
right.
And like, I don't want to say the agenda. I don't want to say agenda, but to the whole motive behind that. But you know, I have my own thoughts about it, really. And like I said, I'm not transgendered. I can't really fully understand. Part of me is thinking, like, does the child want to be publicized like this? But then again, it's a child. It's really up to the parents. It's really all up to the parents.
And Anthony said, responding to a commentator, and yes, I'm talking about reproduction as far as his last comment, which was the male organs, the female organs.
Right.
I don't know if he's saying like you're defying reproduction by...
I mean, I'll repeat myself, but, you know, like heterosexuals don't always follow that. Heterosexuals have sex and they're not intending to reproduce.
Right.
Maybe 99% of the time. You know, people only have 2 or 3 kids. What are they doing the rest of the time? You're not having sex? I'm just, you know, like, that's a depressing marriage, I think, you know. And of course.
They're asexual.
Oh, okay.
They're asexual.
Sure, you're right. Now let me stop.
I'm trying to get Dwayne to call in, but he won't. He just said a male's penis doesn't belong inside another man nowhere at all.
Well, let me tell you something, Dwayne. I'm about to say that. wait. Oh my gosh. You stopped me in my tracks. You stopped me in my whole tracks. But on top of that, they said that a man's erogenous zone is through his anal cavity. So does that mean that women should do strap-ons? Should we use fingers, or should it be gay sex? I don't know. So why is it up there?
See how you could say that? I said that before, and they told me I was gay.
Yeah, I can picture right? People say that, but let's talk about that a little bit. So yes, I think you're correct. And there's a female that I know that I went to college with, and I caught up with her recently, and she... I'm trying not to be too nasty and vulgar, but she is into, it's called pegging. It's defined as pegging.
Yeah, I know pegging well.
Okay, yeah.
We were talking about that on one episode.
Yeah.
And she will put
a strap on,
a device, a strap on.
Be honest.
Yes, and we'll peg guys. And I said
they want it.
And I asked her, I said, are they gay? And she was like, no, they're not gay. I'm a woman, silly. And I was like, oh. And she said that sexuality or sexual orientation is defined as who you do the act with rather than what the act is. And I must have to agree with her.
Oh, that was a good one.
It's interesting. Yeah.
So if a lady does it to you, you're not gay?
It's tough. It's a tough question, but no.
Because it's about who you're attracted to.
It's who you're with.
Who you're
if a man does it, then of course. But I've heard this before where there are straight couples and the woman comes up to me concerned. The girl comes up to me concerned. I don't know. He wants me to lick his, you know
Who
what?
said that? You said that?
Huh?
Well, the guy wants the girl to lick her ass.
The guy wants the girl to lick his ass.
I heard guys are all into that now. I heard girls are licking ass.
Up there
even
or
Gabrielle
whatever.
Union said it, right? She looking.
Oh, I can't deal with that couple anymore. I really can't. I really can't. They need to sit down. Why we have to know all these sexual
things that are
all
happening.
Their sexual stuff.
Yeah.
Right. But I don't know. Don't forget the number is 203-494-0708. We changed it up. Yeah. See, like I brought that up about the guy's G-spot being in his anus, and I got called everything except a child of God. I mean,
you got to think about it. You maybe read up on it, read some books about it, read some articles about it, read about biology. All that stuff is connected.
All that stuff is connected.
You got to...
Even if I can get technical real quick, I get like this as the show progresses. I'm sorry, David.
That's okay.
Yes. So even if you were, as a woman, giving a guy head, right? Or jerking a guy off, and you were doing it in a way that was going towards the anus, he would have more sexual arousal from you going that way versus going outwards. It's something about going that way that he starts to feel it in the nerve endings that lead up to that erogenous zone.
Everything is connected. I don't know. When men thrust, like, where are you thrusting from? You're thrusting from your hips.
Exactly.
You're thrusting from your butt.
Yes,
you're thrusting
agreed.
from your anus. And something is being, even when the male is penetrating somebody else, something is being stimulated.
Agreed. Absolutely agreed.
I would just say read. Not everybody is a science major. Not everyone knows,
biology.
I'm not, but you just gotta look stuff. You got always look at the science. Science is not wrong.
It's not wrong. It makes sense.
That's all I can say, right?
And like I say all the time, make it make sense, and that's where you go. So that's where I go with it. Make it make sense.
Different studies.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Anatomy.
Anthony said, "Let me clear it up. I'm born with the ability to impregnate a woman, who was born with the ability to produce eggs. I'm just saying that also is a natural act in response to the comment or saying being gay is natural."
Who said?
Because animals are gay. Anthony Bernard Ellison.
Oh, he
Jr.
said. Wait, he said Anthony's. What did he say that? He said animals are gay. He's right.
He said animals are gay.
They are.
Yeah, you see animals. You see dogs wild out on other dogs.
Yeah,
squirrels and shit. Right.
Everything.
He definitely got a point there.
It's mad. Wow.
Natural is natural. Yeah, of course. Like male and female, that's reproduction. That's having children. But
if you just want to just have fun and get it on and get a nut.
Exactly.
You just, it's whatever.
Let's take all the, I hate to say this, let's take all the religion out of it. Let's take all the social mores out of it. Let's just take all of that stuff out of it and let's look at the science and let's look at biology. I think that's important. Kind of like human nature. And of course, it's not human nature for everybody to
want to be
gay or to have gay sex.
No, at all.
Maybe for some people.
Yes, for some people, it's more about that sexual fluidity terminology that's new.
Dwayne, I would love for you to call in, man. Dwayne is,
go ahead.
Dwayne is going hard. I would love for him. He said he's not going to call in, but I would love for him. I would love for him to call in and give his.
Yeah, but sexual fluidity is more common than it is not. Many men have said that women are just naturally both. They're attracted to men and they're attracted to women. They're naturally that way. And see that's unfair to say if you're not saying that men can be the same, because I feel that men can be attracted to both too, though they might not act upon it. There's a difference, right? There's a difference in what you act upon and what you're attracted to. You see many women who will say, "Oh, she got a fat ass," or "I like this," or "She's sexy," or "She's pretty." But guys will be more hesitant to say another man is handsome, or "He's a nice looking guy," or "He's handsome."
But they would know it in their mind.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That he is. Yeah.
It's interesting. Like a man can look at another man and know if the man is ugly or
not. We're human. We're supposed to.
Even when men say like, "Oh, you left me for him."
Yes.
He ain't
he
don't look
exactly.
like me.
So you already know what he looks like. Exactly. Right. See.
It's okay.
Yes. Thank you.
I saw one of your. It must have been with you because they was like, "I am not happy with these people up here." When their comments
was it Cassandra? I think I saw
it. Might have been Cassandra. She was like, "Yo, what the fuck is wrong?"
Hey, Cassie. Sandy, sorry, I can't remember what I used to call you in high school. Sandy.
You can't take
that out. Look at the devil.
The devil at work.
What does that mean, Sean?
You can't take that. I think maybe she was referring to when I said. Sean. I think look there. He was referring to before when I think I mentioned take religion out, take social mores out,
gotcha.
All of that stuff like that. But that's assuming that everybody is religious.
Yeah, that is assuming. And we live in a very, like I said, it's not just a sexually fluid society, it's a very spiritually fluid society as well. Yeah. People are very open to different things, and you can't force religion just like you can't force the agenda or propaganda down our throat either. Those are pretty strong things. Politics as well. Certain things you just can't force people to believe in. Just
There's hundreds of different religions in the world, sure. And everyone thinks that they're correct. So
that they're right.
We all have our own religious beliefs. I'm not saying that I'm not religious or that I am religious, but
I understood what you said when you said that. When you said, let's just take that out of the equation and just look at it for what it is.
Right. Look at the present time.
But some people can't because they're like, why would you take that now? They're looking at you like she said, like the devil. We're not taking that out. Oh my God, I was like a trigger. Oh my God, what are you doing?
And I can understand why they feel like that too. Some people were raised in religious situations, but I like to sit back and look at the bigger picture and say, why is this the way it is? Why is that the way it is? Maybe everything is connected to religion somehow. A lot of religious people say everything happens for a reason. Maybe
a lot of not religious people say that too.
Exactly. So maybe some people are gay for a reason. Maybe we don't know what the hell it is until whatever, but until Jesus comes down, until somebody comes down and tells us.
Do they think all the gay people are going to hell then? I need to understand.
I think they do. Some people do think that all gay people
but they got family members that are gay. They think your family members are going to hell as well?
They might think that also, but there's a lot of other people going to hell with us now.
a lot of people.
Everyone sins.
And that's where that chime in comes on before we end the show, because we only got like 20 more minutes or so. Oh, not even. Oh my gosh, it goes so fast.
Yes. Conversations go.
So Rob earlier commented on your post. I think his name was Peter, right? His name is Peter something, Peter Stone or something to that effect. Something weird. I know he was like a troll, but nevertheless, I know that where he was coming from, because that P that they were talking about, that's why it gets tricky when we have Dwayne Wade's son as the face of something, or we have all these other celebrities, children being pushed on us, because that P has been a topic of conversation often, because in other countries like Norway and other countries, that P indicated pedosexual, which is like pedophilia.
Where is this P? Is it part of that this acronym?
Yeah, they're trying to add that into the acronym.
See, I have to disagree with that.
That's crazy. That's the part that's crazy. And that's why it gets tricky, because it's like, well, why are you pushing these kids on us now? Is it because you're trying to go where other countries have gone? You know what I mean? Wow. So that's what makes people like, hold on. Yeah, that's a huge problem. Right?
That's not right. And I can understand that's where some people who I don't want to say homophobic, but some people that are confused by homosexuality, some people that disagree with it, I can understand that. That's where that question comes as to where do we draw the line. Children are not consenting. They cannot consent to that. The difference between...
But they could consent to being transgender at 12, though?
It's a good question.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying.
It is. But I can tell you they cannot consent to having sexual relations with somebody. Homosexuals who are over the age of 18 can consent to that. So it's different.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Over 18, you're grown. But under 18, you're not grown. And you need to be careful in your decision-making skills. And I need to help guide you along the way. And I don't. As we close out, I'm going to really say my opinion. I think we should all go around and say our opinions on this. I don't believe at 12 years old, you should be open in anything. I think you should be open in the book, like David said. That's the only openness you need to be. And as a parent, I want to be outing my child, whether gay nor straight. I need the child to focus on not sexuality at all, because I'm not introducing heterosexuality to you at 12. I'm not telling you go watch porn at 12.
Right.
I'm not saying that you need to let the world know that you're fucking at 12. So I'm definitely not saying to you that I'm now the voice for you. I'm now speaking for you. You're out. You want to be a woman. I'm not doing all that. I'm allowing you that time to grow within yourself and figure things out, because if I allow you to go through this and then 16 comes and you say, I want to I want to have the reassignment surgery, what am I to do at that point? I backed you all this time, so now I got to back you there. And that may be a mistake on my part. And I don't want to ever live with something before you're 18 that I'm going to have to regret later. So I want you to really make the best decision until you're 18.
Okay. And I have to agree with most of that. I can say that you're not an adult until you're 18. You cannot make decisions for yourself until you're 18. You can have that feeling, perhaps. I agree. You can have a feeling that something is different with you, that you are a female, that you are gay, that you are a male, what have you. But no, you cannot decide to have sex reassignment surgery under the age of 18. Your body is still developing. What I can say, though, the only thing that I can say is that I believe that it is possible for people to have those feelings, to have homosexual tendencies under the age of 18, to have even transgendered tendencies under the age of 18. Like I said, I'm not transgendered. I don't fully understand, but I believe that it is somewhat related, even though gender identity and sexual orientation are separate concepts. I believe that people under the age of 18 can still have transgender tendencies. They can still wish to be a female or a male. They can still wish to put on certain clothes. As to whether it should be publicized by celebrities, I don't think so. I think it's exploitation. I don't agree with it.
Rob?
I don't know what to fucking say.
We're all looking at the straight man. We're like, what you gotta say?
I am on this shit, and I've been called gay already. I'm not in the judgmental zone no more. I just stopped recently because I learned that I'm talking with someone in my family who struggles with addiction, and for me to say to him, "Yo, you got to stop smoking crack," I can't say that because I don't know what that entails. Like, I don't know what it is to smoke crack. Someone in my family calls me all the time and says, "Yo, you got to lose weight, yo," but what can he? How can he help me with it? He eats unhealthy. You know what I'm saying? So for me to say to somebody, "Yo, you're gay," it's a sin, or it's a damnation, or God didn't approve of it. I can't say that because I don't know what they're experiencing. I know everybody has their opinion, and I understand that, and I respect the opinion. I respect the opinion.
Yeah.
I do too.
Some people up here they might be old school, a dick doesn't belong in your ass, or a finger or a tongue or whatever doesn't belong in your ass. Well, maybe you haven't had a tongue in your
Those
ass.
old school people was freaky though.
Old school people. I know a lot of old school people.
Was that pastor that came out recently? I don't know. I didn't really look. But I've been on my social media cleanse, but I heard something about a pastor that was licking something.
I heard too. I didn't see it, but I
was like, oh, what church is this? I was like,
yeah, shit is. Yeah, shit is crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't know. Do I think it's being pushed? Yes, it is being pushed because it's a. I didn't know that like I said, I didn't know that my 15-year-old daughter knew what she knew until one day I just asked her. Like, she showed me one of her friends. She was like, "Oh, that's my friend right there," and he was clearly gay, but it was so. "Oh, that's my friend.
Yeah,
oh, hi, sir. How you doing?
Yeah.
Oh, fine, good."
Yeah.
And then I went and thought about, damn, when I was going to school, I saw the fucking kids that were gay get fucking attacked.
Yeah, bullied
daily.
Yeah, for sure.
And you couldn't say, "Yo, leave them the fuck alone," because, "Oh, what are you, gay too?"
Yeah, true.
Right.
You had to like, and I have instances where I saw dudes that were gay getting attacked, and I felt bad, like, but I couldn't say anything because they would say, "Oh, you must be down with them." But now it seems like the culture is different now. Like, you're being told, like, it's being.
But even non-gay men are acting mad gay.
Yeah,
they dressing mad gay. You don't know who. You don't
just
know what's
recently.
What.
What's his name? Deion Cole. He went to a fashion thing and he had on. Let me see if I can pull up the picture. He had on.
We didn't even get to our advice question. We're going to have to get you next week in advice.
Yeah, he had on bell bottoms,
next Wednesday,
and they came at him. I'm gonna see if I can pull a picture up. He had on, and it was like.
But I'm saying, because gender fluidity is such a thing, is now clothes are now fluid. You have a section now where it's really, unisex.
Really?
It's like it's really unisex. Back in the day, it was like unisex, but like real unisex.
Where at? Like,
everywhere.
where is this?
A lot of
Wow,
places.
I didn't even notice that. Wow. I don't know.
A lot of places now.
Right now, I'm in my work clothes. I'm just saying, I had a busy day today. But
yeah, fair enough.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's now, and men are now more feminine in nature. Do you agree, David, at all? That men are a little bit more. I know most of us women think men are like extra, like femme.
Sometimes. Like, it depends.
Yeah, they like extra.
Some of the rappers now come out with really different outfits.
You see this outfit right here?
Stuff like that.
He got attacked for this outfit.
But that's like from like the 70s. Like,
and he said that's disco. He's from a disco era. He loves disco.
Now let's put Lil Uzi up there real quick.
I wasn't around for that disco era, but I
that was dope. He got it like velvet crush, like crushed velvet.
It's velvet, dope. But he said
navy blue
people were
velvet.
saying to him,
nice
"Yo,
to
you
me.
gay ass motherfucker," and we
not at all.
You're not funny anymore.
I don't see that at all.
Yeah, I don't see that either.
It came back in the 90s, the 70s.
But he does have that voice. But if you ever hear any of his interviews, he's very comfortable with who he is.
Megan Thee Stallion lap dances to Drake. Sorry, I love
Yeah.
Megan Thee Stallion. I'm just reading other stuff. That's my hero.
Megan Thee Stallion, your hero, Dave. Oh my! Put Little Uzi up here so we can see how femme he dresses.
Okay.
Even a Little Uzi would be like my bestie.
Even Lil Nas X was wearing like.
Little Nas X, I think he's fake.
I think
he's fake gay.
Well.
I think he's
right.
fake
I
think he's fake gay.
He it's like weird that he came out and then he kind of went back on it and was like, oh no, not really.
He's kind of fake. He's kind of fake.
And then his songs all talk about
Lil
females.
Uzi be getting it. Like he get it. Like I need a Lil Uzi picture with
the
his
way
little
he
femme.
be
Right, he be like
I don't know.
Yeah, got a lot of men that. There we go. There goes a perfect picture.
So
look
you
at
think
him.
that's gay?
What do you think that is, Rob?
Oh yeah, it looks a little
Let
crazy.
Let the people look at that picture. Like what?
It looks a little crazy.
I think it's a lot much, and I know people be like, "Oh, Prince, back in the day,
Right.
guys were cut up." They always try to compare.
That's true, though.
But it's not, because yes, they may have dressed that way, but they weren't doing. Well, Prince was extravagant. He's a whole class of his own. But others that they try to compare them to, they weren't doing the very feminine gestures.
Like, we got to think, is it for attention? Like, what is it for? Or is it suppressed homosexuality that they want to express somehow and not really identify? Like, I don't think we see it.
Sean Holland said it's a homosexual spirit and prayer is needed badly.
You sound like those people that do those exorcists or whatever they do to try to get the gay out of you. That sounds a lot much for me.
That ain't gonna work for me.
Yeah, that's
so Dave, nobody can't pray it out of you, right?
I don't think that works. What's that video that came out? I don't like men's no more. I like
women.
Oh, man.
What's his name? I forgot his name.
I'm delivered.
He's crazy. He's crazy.
I don't like men's no more.
Right, and then he tried to go after that boxer guy. Like,
yeah, I think. Do you think he's still gay? He's probably still
absolutely.
That stuff doesn't work. Conversion therapy doesn't work.
Absolutely.
What's it called? Conversion therapy?
Yeah, you ever heard of that? It's like where
they try to get the gay out of you.
People go to these camps. And they try to. They do different psychological techniques. They do hypnosis. They do shock, electroshock. Whenever somebody has a gay thought, they shock them. I don't know if this really happens anymore, but there was a movie about that that was released in 1999. It was called "But I'm a Cheerleader." And if anyone has questions,
I'm a cheerleader.
Yeah, and it was about a lesbian that was confused. She liked women, and she was sent to this conversion therapy camp. And she said in the movie, that was one of the lines, "But I'm a cheerleader." Doesn't matter if you like women, you like women.
So she went to conversion. Did it change her?
No.
Yeah, I don't ever believe in that. That
People
sounds
should
stupid.
watch that movie. It's a good movie. I haven't seen that in a while.
I'm gonna check it out personally.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this was very interesting.
Yes,
it was a lot more.
It was safe, right, Dave? It was. Now, Dave, will you come back?
I will. This was fun.
Good,
no,
very
it was.
good. Yeah, it's very good. We really appreciate having you here tonight and really being able to hear your perspective.
Me.
Yes,
that was
for sure.
Yo, that was interesting. I only got called gay once, so I'm feeling pretty.
Oh, good.
You know what I'm saying?
Even though you mad gay though, bro. Let's be honest.
No, I'm not gay.
A gay bootlicker too. Ooh.
If
he was gay, he would like only white.
I love the white people.
Oh,
I do love white people.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not gay.
He would only like white guys.
I do love the white people.
There are black men out there that only like white guys.
Yeah. See?
Okay, I didn't mean. Let me get the fuck off this. let me hit Dave.
All right, good.
Let me hit Kwani.
Bye. No.
Yo, thank you everybody for checking us out tonight. This was awesome. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
We
Good
out.
night.
Hey, thanks for checking out the show. Please do us a favor and subscribe and like the show and hit that bell so you can get notifications when we do another show. It's the Raw Report. Again, thank you.